Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
After a soggy, rainy Friday night a week ago, the Cadets have made their way out to Waynesboro, where they tonight will take on the Burke County Bears in a chance for redemption after a tough one last week against Buford. I'm Kevin Thomas, Christian Gokel, alongside you tonight from the Bird Dog capital of the world. We sit high atop the Bear Den here this evening, where the Cadets look to notch their first win of the season as we begin the Barnes Restaurant pregame show, where at Barnes it's all about 50 pieces of fried chicken. $50, 50 chicken nuggets, $50. That party tray, getting ready for college football tomorrow. Go ahead and call Hugh Barnes and company there at Barnes Restaurant. Have that ready to go for kickoff tomorrow, college football. But we got kickoff coming up less than 30 minutes away. Christian Gokel, and sometimes the best dessert, speaking of Barnes Restaurant, is a big slice of humble pie. I think you go the first week, you go to Colquitt County, you play them down to the last second. And the Packers kick a field goal to beat you. I think a lot of people said, look, we didn't play that well at the end of the day. We cost ourselves, should have won the football game. The shoulda, woulda, coulda speech that you can give yourself and say, look, they didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. That's why we lost. Then you go to Buford. Again, Buford comes in last week. Yes, a lot of weather circumstances were at play, but a lot of people said, hey, we played this team very close a year ago. Well, that was not the same Buford team you played. You're not the same BC team as a year ago. New offensive line completely. I mean, Buford, as you heard Danny Britt say earlier this week, one of the most talented teams you will play in a high school football game. Now you're coming back on the level, and tonight I think you, by all accounts, talking to the coaches and people on the staff, it has been a focused, aggressive week of practice to get ready for this Burke County game tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Kevin. It was a little bit of a humbling experience this past Friday. I know you come out of last season with your performance against Buford. You're like, hey, we can play with anybody. And then all of a sudden last Friday happened, and you realize, okay, maybe we got a whole bunch to work on coming up this season. And, again, anytime you let somebody hang 42 points on you in your home stadium, not going to be a super fun week of practice the next week. But for the Cadets, Kevin, I think this is a chance to go against someone of some familiarity. You've played Burke County a whole lot, whether it was in the region or just in some rivalry out of region matchups these past few years. Something a little bit closer to home and a team you're familiar with, and a chance, I think, to try to start getting off on the right foot here early in a game.
Yeah, I feel like if you're offensive lineman, you could say, first time starting against Colquitt, it wasn't all great. Did some good things. Last week, it was just, I think you said it yesterday, you couldn't block them. And that's not when that happens, Christian, there's not a scheme you can draw up. There's not a play. There's not a formation that you can draw up when they say our 11 guys are just not individually, but as a group. I think everybody that started the game for Buford on defense had a D1 offer, and probably half of the guys on the second unit. And it's not disrespectful to yourself to say we couldn't block them. You're not going to see a team run 5 dudes out there like that. Even when you look at the Ware counties and the Warner Robins and the Burke counties, are they going to have talented defensive players, defensive linemen? Of course they are. They're going to have 4 or 5? Probably not, in terms of being on that level. So I think tonight as an offensive line, you catch your breath, you come back and say, let's just reestablish ourselves now that we know we're on the level. We played a small college offensive line last week. It did not go well. Now that we're back in it, let's get after it and find some continuity. And I think, to me, Christian, if I'm A.J. DePhillips, it starts off with, can we come out and move people off the ball running the base stuff? And
right.
And people say, well, what's the base stuff? If you watch BC football, you kind of know what that is. It's the bubble routes out of the backfield. It's the misdirections, the buck sweeps, the little 5-yard slant routes off the ball that you run 800 times during the season. Can you do that and move people and block people? If you can do that early, I think that confidence level goes way up against this is a good Burke County team you're going to play tonight as well.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, kind of going back to the transition this week, we talk about this a lot, and you played against a Buford team, and I promise this is the last time I'll say Buford,
Yes.
but you play against an excellent Buford team who I think without a doubt right now is the best team in the state of Georgia, and I think in contention, honestly, for the number 1 team in the country. They're ranked number 10 right now according to those metrics, but I think after their first 2 games beating Milton and handily beating BC, they have an argument to be at least top 5. You're not going to play that level again, and just because you don't beat number 1 doesn't mean you're not very good.
Right.
Just means you're not number 1. And again, 6A versus 4A. BC now comes into this game, and Burke's probably looking at them very similarly saying, hey, we're a 2A team, and here comes a big bad 4A team, and here trying to get their season off on the right track. So I think just a little bit more familiar level of competition coming up, and a familiar coaching staff that you're going up against with Franklin Stevens and his staff. You've played him when they were at Ware County. He was at McEachern before that, and then way back in the day, and then Camden with Jeff Herron, kind of where he got his offensive philosophy from. So it's a more of a familiar feel, but I think, Kevin, a chance for BC to try to start again finding who they are as a team, because you've just been in dogfights the first 2 weeks of the season. This one, I think you'll have a little bit more time for Stephen Cannon to sling the football around and, like you said, open up some holes for Stanley Smart.
And important in a lot of respects, Christian, to win this one, get that first win. Why? Because as we've kind of mentioned throughout the maybe this will be the last time we mention it moving forward, you only have 9 games on the schedule. So after tonight, you have 2 weeks off, and then obviously a full week of practice to get to the next game. I know technically you say we don't have to, you will have 3 Fridays before you play another football game, and you will play on that 3rd Friday. So very important to win, get some momentum going into basically a double bye, which you never get in high school football, Christian, but you want to certainly have a taste of victory and not of, oh man, we still have more to work on and 2 weeks to get there. That's almost like starting the season over in a lot of ways.
I'll say this. If there's anybody that's a staff and is familiar with it, it's coaches in South Georgia, just having to deal with hurricanes. It seems like on a yearly basis, kind of know how to handle having those 2 weeks off potentially if you have to, but you know it's coming up this time. And it's a chance, Kevin, I think after a really tough 3-game stretch before you head to Westminster in a few weeks, to try to get some guys healthy. But then after this game, go in, see what worked, what didn't, and like you said, hopefully tonight is a step in the right direction, because it felt like Colquitt, you lost, but you were really on an upward trajectory there, because it was a really big battle, felt like a semifinals kind of a game against Colquitt, but you shoot yourself in the foot a lot in that one, versus last week, that was just kind of a smack in the face against Buford. That's one of those ones where you take the game tape and just toss it in the trash and say, we're not garnering a whole lot from that one, let's move on. This one needs to be that next step.
And again, we count you down towards kickoff here from the Bear Den in Burke County. Kevin Thomas, Christian Gokel here on the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. Tonight's about who's playing and who's not playing, and that means for both sides. We'll talk about that when we come back on the Barnes Restaurant pregame show here on Watch BC Sports.
Want to make some extra cash just by sitting on your couch? At Cash and Carry in Savannah, Georgia, we buy any car, no matter the condition, and take it right off the road. Just visit the link, enter your car details, and get an instant offer. Cash and Carry, turning cars into cash without leaving your couch.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Welcome back here to Waynesboro, home of the Burke County Bears, where the Cadets are walking off back to the locker room here ahead of the pregame kickoff, about 20 minutes to get things started. Christian, I mentioned going into the last break as we cruise along here on the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. It's about who's playing and about also who is not. Let's start first with BC before we get to kind of the late breaking news about Burke County. But Benedictine tonight going to be without a couple of guys here, some once again and some here just for this week against Burke County, and then with 2 weeks on the backside to get healthy.
So still down Mackay Williams in the secondary. You'll have Wyatt Esbrook back for his second start in a row back there, kind of solidifying that a little bit. Still without JoJo Sutton. So your two corners to start the night this evening will be Jonathan Black and Amari Burse out there at the cornerback positions. And then, fortunately, Kevin, Aaron Mallard kind of went down with a rough lower body injury last week. He's going to give it a go tonight, kind of a calf injury that he's been dealing with all week. So hopefully he's able to go full speed tonight. Bubba Frazier, I know he missed some action last week. He's good to go for tonight as well. But, yeah, still missing some guys in the secondary right now, Kevin. And we've seen Josh Washington as well. He is still out after that big hit in the Colquitt game, hoping to have him back for Westminster after, again, a couple more weeks off. So, again, you lose one guy, you're like, okay, we've got guys we can kind of slide over. All of a sudden, you're down 3, and you've got guys that are having to play both ways, and you're really starting to test the depth for this BC skill position.
And it takes more than 1 week to build that depth with guys you trust. For Burke County here, Christian, we found out as we got here that their quarterback, Sean Vandiver, not going to play tonight. And talking with the Burke County folks, they were kind of surprised and said, hey, he got injured. But, again, one of those situations where if this was a region game for the Bears, he would probably play, but it isn't, and so he's not. So the two backup quarterbacks, I said it could be a rotation tonight, both sophomores. And again, I think just judging by pregame warmups and what we saw them kind of shell through, if you will, a lot of wing tee stuff. Don't know how well they're going to be comfortable throwing the football at this point, Christian Gokel. So could be very one-dimensional, could be very, assignment oriented for BC on defense tonight, but a big loss for Burke County as Vandiver, a 3-year starter at quarterback, and him not in the ball game does make a huge difference for that Bears squad.
Absolutely. And again, if you haven't watched Franklin Stevens offense before, I think the best I can kind of describe it as, if you remember Nick Marshall during his time at Auburn, just that style of offense where there's going to be some pistol, but it's a lot of wing tee and flex bone concepts. So you're going to get a lot of buck sweeps. You're going to get a lot of rocket tosses. You're going to get quarterback kind of going out in motion, and it looks like a throw, but really it's just an extended triple option, a lot of bubble screens. So you put a lot on your quarterback position kind of as the point guard for the offense. So hopefully the two young men who are coming in tonight are ready to face a very talented BC defensive front.
So there is a quick look at the injury prognosis here for both teams coming into this ball game. And Christian, you look at Benedictine. Let's go defensively here. I think last week you could say, obviously but the first 2 games, I think the front 4 have played really well for BC defensively. I think if you would fault anything, obviously as the game went on, they played way too much football last week. I think the Cadets only had 2 first downs through the third quarter, Christian. So I think that's one of those things where you look at defensively, front 4, back 4. I think through 2 games, given the quality of opponents they've played, have played really well. I think that linebacker spot need to tackle a little bit better, shore some of those things up. But you're kind of great here coming into this Burke County game. Defensively, 2 games they've played pretty well.
Yeah, and I think against Colquitt, you gave up a couple of explosives. But outside of that, you really stonewalled them. Against Buford, I think it was just kind of that effect of you were on the field so much because the offense had so many 3-and-outs. I think you just started to get wore down just by Buford's depth there. So I think, 2 games in a row that you've played really well. I'll take that all the way back to the Camden scrimmage. I thought the defensive line played excellent at Camden scrimmage. So it's just, can you hold up on the back end and not give up the big play? Because what's going to happen tonight is they're going to run, and then all of a sudden your eyes are in the backfield and they pop one over your head. So you have to stay disciplined on the back end. And then for the defensive front, not a very glamorous game tonight. Probably not going to be a whole lot of straight dropbacks or straight ISO runs. There's going to be a lot of misdirection. The offensive line is going to be coming at your knees. You're just going to have to stay on your feet and be able to make some plays because this offensive line wants to hit you fast, get to the second level, and let their athletes make their plays from there.
I think if you're BC offensively, move the football. Christian, I think even against Colquitt, it kind of felt like it took them a minute to get into some run. They scored early, but it felt obviously it took them a minute to kind of get comfortable with what they were running.
Right.
I think tonight, move the chains, let those guys on defense sit. I think for every rep, you don't need Bubba Frazier on defense. For every rep, you don't need some of those guys on defense. Right. A huge help, certainly moving forward. I think also you can't have the big turnover that gives up a short field. I know it hasn't all been on the offense necessarily. It's been special teams at times, but we've done 3 games. We've done a preseason scrimmage, and we've done 2 regular season games. And all 3 games, Christian, the opposing team has had an offensive touchdown on a drive of less than 25 yards. That ain't going to win you a lot of football games if that streak continues each and every week where, hey, we just know we're giving up 7 because we're going to make a mistake and it's going to be red zone or closer to punch one in the end zone.
Absolutely. And again, you've slowly gotten better at all of that, but it's going to take a full effort tonight to be able to come up to Burke County and get a road win here in a very, very tough environment. Right near Statesboro, a lot of really passionate football fans, one of the best facilities, I think, Kevin, in South Georgia here at Burke County. So it's going to take a lot. And again, it's all the little things that you've had compound that make it big things, where you miss a snap on a punt and you give somebody the football inside of your 5. You give up a big punt return because you kick it straight down the middle of the field. We're feeling like that might be remedied with Stephen Cannon back there punting, averaged over 44 yards a punt last week against Buford. And he had one that went 70 yards, but the net was 50 because it went into the end zone. So he's really, I think, kind of solidified that spot a little bit. But from there, can you kick the ball into the end zone every time, right? Can you handle the snaps on the special teams every time? The little stuff like that just can't turn the football over and expect to win these games.
Certainly not. As again, the special teams, so we just might as well hit to phase 3 there, Christian. Special teams have been interesting, and I know people talk about that. I think you've gotten spoiled as a Cadet fan of so many great kickers in a row. It's now you are a work in progress special teams. And this may be something you don't feel at least good about until game 7 or 8.
Sure.
Just because these guys haven't done it as much. I mean, even for as good as Stephen Cannon looked punting the football, that was his first game punting the football. So who's to say he won't have some ups and downs over the course of the season. So I think special teams, which have been just kind of, it sounds bad to say this, an afterthought, because you're like, hey, if we get inside the 30, we're going to kick a field goal,
right,
or at least give a shot at it. So maybe don't have that luxury now, but I think special teams, if nothing else, you got to clean up the blocking. You got to be able to fill your lanes, and you can't go every single game where every kick, every punt, every kickoff is just please let us be gap sound.
Right.
So it's not just a huge field turnover position.
It's leaning forward versus leaning back. And it's, if you have a unit that you feel very comfortable with, it always feels like you're kind of leaning forward and going downhill, versus you got a position group you send out there, you're not 100% sure. It feels like you're kind of leaning back, hoping something doesn't go wrong. Okay. Oh, we got it off. Or you're like, oh no, there it is. So it's just, you're hoping all 3 phases, you feel very confident. And like you said, the past few years, offense, defense, special teams, you feel like you can attack. You got a guy like Connor Ferguson back there. You could pin him deep on punts. You were putting the ball in the end zone every time, and you felt pretty much once you got past the 40, you could attempt a field goal. So it's just, you're feeling like you could attack on special teams. BC kind of been on their heels a little bit this year on special teams. Feels like you got the punt fixed a little bit. Kickoffs have gotten a little bit more consistent. Now, again, Parker Lewis, I think he's done a good job when he's been given a chance, hitting a really clutch field goal against Colquitt and has been rock solid on PATs. Do you start letting him expand kind of his range a little bit as well? Curious to see how that looks tonight. Yeah, and again, maybe you get an opportunity to test some of those things as well. We are counting it down to kick off a nice night here in Burke County. Christian, I got to say, the first 3 games here of 2025, I don't want to say like we've checked off like some in terms of the heat. We have not hit a absolute melter. A couple weeks ago in Colquitt, it was humid, but it was not really hot. It was just kind of a muggy night. Last week, of course, the rain kept the temperature down, just not ideal playing conditions. Tonight, you're talking That's
what,
perfect.
80s? I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good football situation. Cloudy, not rain cloudy, but cloudy. The sun's not beating down. It's going to be a nice night for football. I mean, you couldn't draw it up any better first 3 weeks for South Georgia football to not have one game where it's 90 plus at kickoff.
You ain't lying. I mean, it's been pretty much perfect temperature-wise for the first 3-4 games of the season so far, and I think, Kevin, tonight's about as good as it gets. You start getting a little bit later in the year, might get a little cold. This is, if you're an athlete, this is perfect. You have the right humidity out there so that the ball, when it hits your hands, just feels perfect, kind of sticks to them a little bit. You got a little bit of a sweat going on, but you're not dying like we have been. Last week I think was great too, but prior to that, that was just sweltering. So this is, you should see less cramps tonight. Guys should be able to stay on the field a little bit longer, and it's just not eviscerating your body like it has in the past. But, we're not allowed to complain. Because literally 3 feet behind us is in the press box is a air conditioning machine that Kevin said, "Hey, can somebody please turn this on for me, please?" But it's absolutely perfect, and this is probably my favorite stadium to broadcast from. They did it right when they built this one. So really appreciate Burke County. Always fun to come up here. Really great program, really great facilities, and appreciate all the BC people back at home in Savannah hanging out with us tonight.
Absolutely. Let us know where you're dialed in from there in the chat as we roll along here on the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. Barnes celebrating 50 years. It's all about 50. 5 pounds of barbecue, $50. 50 pieces of chicken, $50. 50 chicken fingers, $50. College football is tomorrow, for crying out loud. Call Barnes Restaurant. Get that tailgate platter set up. Get that chicken ready to go and get ready for kickoff. We're getting ready for kickoff here at Burke County. We're counting it down. More to come here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Vernon Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to come in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com. The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC Sports.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
At barnesrestaurant.com, where you need to go. Get ready for your game days. We're counting it down towards kickoff here. Christian Gokel is the Cadets waiting for their captains to come down onto the field. Burke County waiting for the BC Cadets to join them. We'll have the coin toss coming up. If you win the toss, you want to take the ball first and just let AJ DePhillips and company try to get something going right out of the gate?
Yeah, I think you put your best foot forward, and defensively, that's been you. So if I'm old Danny Britt, I'm putting the Damian Guyan and Cam Cody and the crew out there. Let them kind of set the pace, and then you get the ball coming out at half. But, different folks.
Absolutely. Again, a nice night for football here at Burke County tonight as the Bears going to wear Oh boy, a broadcaster's dream. Dark blue uniforms with the black numbers on it, and the outline. They got the black helmets on. Actually, looks like a lot of them are wearing it. Christian, if you can, are they wearing the safety domes on top of their helmets tonight?
It looks like a few of them might be. Yes.
Looks like all, unless I just trying to check and see how it looks. But BC wearing their white tops, maroon pants, and maroon helmets here as they walk on the field with the captains. And Christian, couple of keys tonight. Finally, before we step aside one more time, we'll come back for this the kickoff of tonight's ball game. Couple of keys tonight for Benedictine to win this football game.
Yeah, I think number one, Kevin, you got to protect a quarterback, give Stephen Cannon some time to throw the football around. But with that key, Stephen Cannon got to find the easy stuff. Get it to your athletes in their hands and let them make some plays. Doesn't always have to be 20, 30 yards down the field. Defensively, play your keys. They're going to try to run some read action, get you running the wrong way and come back the other way. So play your keys. Safeties and linebackers got to run the alleys and wrap up when they get there.
We will step aside as the captains have come out onto the field. Looks like it's going to be Cam Cody. It will be John Brenton as we look across number 31, Ibn Powell, and number 30, going to be Reed Brennan, your captains for tonight as they walk across midfield for the coin toss. Christian, let's step aside. We'll tell you who wins it when we return. This has been the Barnes Restaurant pregame show here on Watch BC Sports. Kickoff coming up next.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook. Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
Welcome back here to Burke County and the Bear Den as the coin toss looks like Burke County may have won the coin toss the way the official turned. Let's see how he walks it off. No, he's going to come by. BC won it. They're going to defer. So he looked at Burke County first, but BC won it, and they defer.
Danny called me. He called me. He said, Christian, what would you do right here?
Said, what would Christian Gokel do? And Christian said, we want to play defense first. So that is exactly what the cadets will do as they'll return. You see the cadets walking in, or you can't see that, but they are walking in. You have to come down steps at Burke County either way. So the Bears have to come down steps to kind of drop into the bowl. The cadets have to walk down some stairs in the far end zone to come down onto the field as they are huddled up around the goalpost there in the end zone. And we'll be just about ready to go here, Christian, as I would assume it's going to be Mr. Brenton to get things started, kicking it off here for
Did our internet go out?
So welcome back. We apologize for that quick technical delay as the Burke County Bears huddled up here on the near side. Cadets getting ready to run on the field, and here they come. And we'll be ready for football here momentarily. Christian, I can't tell if it's the safety helmets, but Burke used to wear the silver with the blue BC on it. And I don't know, because of the uniform color scheme, it looks like underneath those kind of like black tops on the helmets, like they have their regular helmets. I don't know if it's just tonight it's the safety helmet, black helmet look, but everybody's got one on. It's not that super huge one that you see a lot of times, but it's definitely some kind of cover on the helmet tonight. It would appear from up here anyway.
Anything to protect your players, and I think Burke County, much like BC, a team that's going to play guys both ways right there. So if you can avoid any kind of concussions, any kind of way, especially for guys who are going to be playing 100-plus snaps, why not?
I'm trying to see if 100. My eyes just deceiving me.
No, I mean all of them. Yeah,
some angles it looks like it's not, and then other angles like, oh, it's definitely got a cover on the helmet. So Cadets will send their kicking unit out first, looking for their first win of the season, Christian Gokel, and they hope it comes here. And they have played Burke County. Jack Holland telling us Burke County is the most common opponent in football for Benedictine the last 10 years. They've played the Bears more than anybody else, and asked if they were going to continue this. Obviously, every 2 years it's a scheduling thing, and he said, we would love to keep playing Burke County, a good program, quality program. They compete. And so it's just a matter of, do they agree to keep playing? But a beautiful spot here in Waynesboro, bird dog capital of the world, and they love their football as well here on a Friday night here at Burke County. So it'll be Brenton to kick it off from right to left as you're looking. And we'll get week 3 of the high school football season underway here for the Cadets. Love for this one to go in the end zone, get things started. And it's going to be a short pooch kick up the right hash, going to be brought down there at the 15. And again, tough coverage up the middle of the field, all the way out to the 37-yard line before he is brought down. That's Wyatt Estabrook on the kick coverage team as well. He's going to be your starting safety, had to come in and make the stop. But again, Christian, you're talking about 30 yards, or maybe a little bit less than that on the kick return.
And again, not a ton of hang time on that one and still just working on it. It's kind of an art. Been able to, it's like hitting a driver where you're hitting down on the ball and getting it to really drive into the back of the end zone. And we're hitting about 300 right now.
So here's that flex bone look. BC very familiar with this formation, obviously, and they'll run the little counter sweep, and it's tied up and turned around. Big Cam Cody in there, along with Larson Little and Isaac Scott. And that is a BC staple, and that's obviously a staple of the Franklin Stevens wing tee.
Yeah, and they have no problem doing that all night long, running clock.
And again, you have a sophomore quarterback in there for Burke County as Vandiver is hurt. So how much can they throw the football might be in question tonight as well. 2 young guys that haven't played a whole lot. That was a fumble they went straight ahead, got it back. This is at quarterback. It's Ashton White, 5'10", 165 pounds, getting the start at quarterback tonight for Burke County.
Well, Kevin, I think you get a good idea of how threatened BC feels by the passing game, just kind of by their alignment. The deepest man is Wyatt Estabrook, and he's only about 9 yards deep.
You can really afford to play one high safety, and you trust your guys to play man coverage. Now in a 3rd down and 8, here's the snap. They'll roll it out. White looking, going to throw short, and Estabrook almost undercut the route and came up with an interception. So BC, a 3 and out on defense. Christian going to get the football.
Yeah, and that's much needed. And again, you go back to the decision to kick off.
Oh. Is that a flag down? Holding it. Oh, goodness gracious. They're going to call it against BC. So how tough is that? Again, this has been an issue all season here. I say all season. It sounds like it's been 10 games. Yeah. It's only been 2 and a couple of plays, but penalties when you're going to get off the field have just killed the Cadets.
Yeah, you feel like you're getting your offense ready, punt return, and then all of a sudden you see that little yellow hanky laying there on the field. And that's something that's a little bit more common, defensive holding, when you play against these flexbone teams, because you're keying so hard on run, and then all of a sudden a back starts leaking out and you just grab a hold of a jersey and you're interfering with him getting down the field for a pass route.
So 1st and 10 after the penalty out towards the 48 of Burke County. They'll give a little counter sweep and cuts back inside. Somebody grabbed him by the jersey. I think it was Larson Little. And then who was that? Jaden Houston and others there to finish it off. But it'll be a gain of a couple into BC territory. They go 2nd and 7, Christian, and a flexbone team like Franklin Stevens, they'll take that all night long.
Yeah, again, 30 seconds are going to come off the game clock here, and they'll get ready for 2nd and 7, try to make it 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, and just keep rolling like that. This is right where they want to be.
You wonder how tight in the playbook Burke County is tonight, given the sophomore quarterback making his first start.
Again, in this system, though, he's probably been doing this for a long time.
Oh, here's a little quick rollout. BC all over that. Larson Little. And who was there in the help for the sack? That was LaDamian Guyton. So those 2 guys flying to the football. And I think on some level, you're like, they're not going to pass that much. So if you just read the rollout, just go.
Yeah, and you play action to the same side. So even if BC wasn't in a blitz, you had both of those guys keying towards that side, and then just absolutely no time for the quarterback to even look up and think about throwing the football.
So 3rd and 13, another big down here for BC, try to get off the field. Cadets again with 9 men way up tight there. They'll run a little counter trap inside. BC reads it late, and a recovery. That's going to be Amari Burst coming over from his corner spot to make the tackle. Going to be 3 yards short, but again, with a flexbone team, 4th and 3, you're not worried. And they might go for this. Nope, going to trot the punt team on. And it's one of those where you would hear option teams go, hey, if we don't think we can get 2 yards, why are we a running team?
Right. And I think that's a long 2.
Yeah.
I mean, probably closer to 3. So you just go ahead and punt this one away, try to pin them deep, and you feel like your offense kind of did what they were supposed to do if you're just playing field position.
Here's the snap. Punt is a low driving kick. It's going to take a BC roll towards the sideline, then kick back inside towards the 24. So decent field position here, Christian Gokill, as the Cadet offense comes out for the first time. And again, it was very late into the game before we got to dial up the BC Brothers moving the chains. And let's hope BC does it here on this first drive a couple of times and just keep that defense nice and rested.
Yeah, Stephen Cannon running for his life last week. Hopefully a little bit more time this week to be able to throw the football around a little bit, but also need some guys on the edge to make some plays, get open.
So Cannon going to start out. They're going to go empty set, flare out, and that's going to be caught Stanley Smart. He'll go across the 30. That's going to be a first down, hard running before he's brought down on the far sideline. So right there, first play, crank up the BC Brothers moving bus, and we're moving the chains.
Yeah, that'll go as a completion for Stephen Cannon, but really just a toss sweep out of the shotgun there a little bit. Nice job blocking on the edge by the receivers there, and a good first play to get the offense in rhythm.
They'll go empty backfield again here on 1st and 10. And Cannon, a little quick out, going to be caught underneath. Bubble makes a man miss. He'll get close to the 50. And they're going to put him down just in BC territory, I think, at the 49 3/4. And it will be second down here for the Cadets.
And that's kind of one of the staples for the Cadets offense, and they haven't been able to hit it consistently this year. If teams are going to play off, they're going to hit that one.
Cadets go wing T. Here's their little version of the counter sweep. Bubba can't break free. He's going to be tackled in the backfield. And a nice open field tackle. Very tough to see the numbers here for Burke County. That's going to be Rashad Carter. Nice open field tackle on Bubba. That'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I think if there's one formation that Burke's probably ready for, it's the flex bone.
Are they ready for this? 4 wides. Now they'll shift formation. They'll go twins with Stanley Smart back next to Cannon. Still trying to get lined up. 8 on the play clock. That was Mallard in motion. Cannon rolling to his right, looking for somebody, and throws it behind. Who was he looking for there? Bubba Frazier, I think. No. They had a kind of a flood route concept there, Christian, and he kind of threw it behind everybody.
Yeah, and that one, Kevin, you look at Stephen Cannon kind of running for his life last week. I think that install right there, hey, let's kind of move the pocket if we don't feel like we can protect him straight up. So maybe just a little bit of an adjustment there, but you also cut the field in half for a really talented quarterback.
4th and 6, they're going for it right here.
Or do you do a Stephen Cannon pooch punt?
Well, we'll see. He is a little extra deep. Yeah, he's going to do that. Oh, my goodness. That was maybe a little more dangerous than it needed to be, but it takes a BC roll and goes inside. Looks like he had the 14. They're going to mark him at the 15. So, boy, I think that was close to being blocked. And he just got it off.
I think Burke was probably wise to their game. Studied the tape, knew who the punter was.
But that is a dynamic.
Yeah.
That's a dynamic of having him do the punting, though. Because it was that down and distance where, like, if he doesn't do it and we're thinking he's punting it, could be interesting.
Right. And again, he's so talented at that. We saw it last week, had a 70-yard punt, but you'd rather him be on the field slinging the football around instead of kicking it.
So now your defense can kind of pin their ears back. They've got him pinned back at the 15. And really the only first down Burke got was via the penalty to keep their drive going. They'll do the little counter sweep. BC is all over that, and he'll get finished up. Cam Cody will do the cleaning, and that will be a loss of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 12.
And that's one of those ones where that running back might go play college ball in a few years, but he's going to be able to tell his significant other one day, hey, you see that guy that plays for Clemson and that guy that plays for Texas Tech? They both tackle me at the same time on the same play.
Oh, they just are flying to the football, and I think BC knows what keys to, as you said, they practice against some of this, and they really look like they know where this thing is headed. They'll roll out again, try to throw it short. Nice play concept, and Amari Burst with another tackle, shoving him out of bounds at the 21-yard line. That's what 2 or 3 times they've run that concept, leaking an A back out. Everybody sucks up to get the quarterback, and he's running free out there about 5 yards downfield. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, Kevin, that is flexbone quarterback counter flood. And you're just overloading that side, and he's hit the out route a couple of times.
So 3rd down. And here is White under center. He'll roll here to the near side. Probably going to keep it himself wide. An open field tackle. Jonathan Black. He's going to lose a couple of yards back to the 23-yard line. Nice open field tackle by the youngster.
Yeah, it was one of the keys. Secondary has to be on their P's and Q's when you're playing a team like this. You have to be out there to make those tackles on the edge, and that's a great job by Jonathan Black, staying at home, not getting caught up, and setting the edge, making that tackle.
So Burke County going to punt the football. Last time it was not good. A low kind of sputtering kick. Christian Gokel, Bubba Frazier is at the 46. A low snap, barely gets it off. Bubba going to catch it at the 44. Uh-oh, up the near sideline. He's going to come. No, that's Aaron Mallard. And he's going to get shoved out of bounds at the 34. So excellent field position here for the Cadets. And a lot of things you can do with this offense if you give Stephen Cannon some time here to throw the football.
Well, I'll say this. You need to start taking advantage of these short fields because we are 3 possessions in and there's already 7 minutes gone from the first quarter. You're not going to get a ton of chances to put points on the board against this offense. Even when they go 3 and out, they're going to take a minute and a half, 2 minutes off the clock every time.
So Cadets trying to make something happen here offensively. Did pick up a first down on their first drive, but that was it. Here's Cannon with an empty backfield. They'll run the bubble screen. It's going to be caught and brought down inside the 30 at the 29. That's going to be Stuart Dunn. Even the 28.
That's kind of one of those Michael Dyer plays. I don't know if he ever actually went down, but because he gave up on it, the official kind of blew the whistle. That's one of those ones. Keep running until they tell you to stop.
Yeah, you got to sell it. Cadets will put a tight end here on 2nd down. They'll give it. This is Mallard trying to come near side. Now he's going to cut back. Nice second effort to get the 2 he got, Christian Gokel. It'll be 3rd down and about 3.
Yeah, again, it's going to be hard to set the edge against this team. They're so used to defending what they play against in practice where they're constantly trying to bash the edge. This is a really disciplined team, a really well-coached team. It's going to be hard to consistently get up there and get to the edge.
Actually, 3rd and 1, so this is very short. They need the 24. Cannon going to try to draw them off. Did they move? Nope. And this is one where don't be too cute here.
Yeah, number 5 is looking pretty good.
Get the first down. And, yep, that's who they go to off the right side. That'll be a first down. And now they'll blow it dead inside the 20 at the 19. BC Brothers moving. Move the chains one more time, and it's 1st and 10 for the Cadets.
Yeah, don't overcomplicate it. Hand it to your 3-star back and let them go to work.
And Christian, the reason I said don't kind of draw them off sides is how many 3rd and 1s have turned into 3rd and 6s so far this season here for the Cadets. So 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Here's Cannon rolling to his right. Going to take it himself and just take what he could. That's a couple off the right side and out of bounds.
Yeah, I think wise there, Kevin. Don't risk an injury, taking a big hit, trying to pick up 3 or 4 extra yards. Get what you can and then get out of bounds.
And that's a tough thing to keep teaching these quarterbacks that don't mind a little bit of contact. It's like it's not this hit, it's hit 45 on the season. Here's the snap out to Bubba Frazier up the right side. He's going to go untouched. Touchdown. Cadets on the board. Stephen Cannon to Bubba Frazier, 19 yards on the hookup. And the Cadets are on the board. They lead at 6-0.
we talked about it, Kevin, haven't really been able to get the easy one this year. And by easy, I mean just a quick pass out to your playmaker, let him be who he is. And Bubba Frazier, the Notre Dame commit, takes it to the house right there. Big-time stuff from number 4, and great play calling, huge drive, great execution.
Now here's Parker Lewis to make it 7-0. Here's the snap. The kick is up, and it is right through there. Parker Lewis tacks on the point after. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry on Watch BC Sports.
Want to make some extra cash just by sitting on your couch? At Cash and Carry in Savannah, Georgia, we buy any car, no matter the condition, and take it right off the road. Just visit the link, enter your car details, and get an instant offer. Cash and Carry, turning cars into cash without leaving your couch.
Seven 0 BC, 19 yards. Stephen Cannon, Bubba Frazier. And Cadets are off to a good start here in Waynesboro. Christian Gokel, defense is swarming. Burke County has 1 first down through their first two possessions. That came via penalty. And other than that, it's been about 7 yards of total offense for Burke County through their first 2 drives. So a good answer by the Cadets there, as it will be John Brenton to put total leather on that one. Up the left side it goes. And again, a short kick going to come down at about the 8. And Cadets, they read that good. And oh my goodness, a flag comes in late. It was Tristan Robertson with the tackle.
The only thing that could be
personal foul, face mask
or targeting, and they're going to say he got his. It's just silly.
So you're going to would have had him bottled up inside the 15. Now you're going to be out close to the 30-yard line. So those are the things that continue, Christian, to drive Danny Britt nuts. It's been first 3 games. It is, guys, that's not what we do. And again, I know fans will get frustrated. It's not like they haven't said, don't grab the face mask,
right.
Don't personal foul, keep it under control. It's just one of those focused things when you get out here. And it costs you. I mean, that's a lot of field position to give up from a defensive standpoint where you've kind of bottled them up here early in the first 2 drives.
Well, the other thing is you don't want to have to play starters on special teams, and you give guys like that a chance, but you can't have stuff like that. You did a great job flying down there. We just can't make that mistake.
So here is Ashton White, again, backup quarterback, getting the start tonight for the injured Sean Vandiver. And out of the flex bone, they're going to run that old toss sweep. BC stretching it side to side, gets the corner turned, and we'll have a gain of about 4 up the left side before he's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, just really nice speed there. Rocket toss. Good job by the other running back and the receiver blocking right there. And BC got to be able to flow to that. But again, you're down a starting safety and a starting corner right now, and that's the side they just ran to.
And Christian, you see Jameer Lee in there on the defensive front. And I heard Danny Britt on the Danny Britt show say he's a guy that you just got to make a point to get more snaps.
Yeah, and keep the other 3 guys fresh, and better to have a 4-man rotation than have to sub in when the guys are exhausted.
I'll come straight ahead. Larson Little in there. Big Cam Cody going to grab him by the belt buckle and hold him up. Maybe a yard. It's going to be 3rd down here for Burke County.
Yeah, better job that time. Again, against teams like this, you're not flying upfield. You just have to play your responsibility and fill your gap. And that time, I think Isaac Stott did a really good job. Cam Cody did a really good job of just kind of holding up the offensive line and letting the linebackers flow.
So it's 3rd down and about 5 here for Burke County. They'll put 1 receiver out, everybody else in that straight flex bone formation. Here's the snap. They'll play action off of that. They run underneath. Nicely read. Amari Burse just couldn't come up with the tackle at the sticks. And up the left sideline he goes. And again, that's the same kind of play action, quick rollout play they've run all night long. And that time perfectly executed.
That's the 4th time we've seen that same play. And again, you're just doing a lot to the linebacker and the corner's eyes there, where you're kind of motioning. He's striking where the quarterback's running it. And all of a sudden the quarterback's breaking out and you have a guy behind you. Just really nice play calling and good execution with, again, backup quarterback in there.
And that was kind of a B-back rollout. So your B-back kind of came through and released.
Yeah, giving your quarterback kind of the same look.
And now they go spread formation, and they'll throw it quickly and in and out of the hands. And again, if you're BC, I think I wouldn't play so off again. I think I would show a lack of respect towards the passing game until they prove they can throw it down the field on you, and that was just catch it and get it out.
Right, and they just kind of formation you right there. You're so used to them playing underneath the center. All of a sudden, they're in shotgun. I think a little confusion there for BC. Fortunate. This is a Burke County team that BC's gone up on big before, and it just seems time after time they've always got that plan B in their pocket to go out there and execute out of the shotgun.
They'll come back straight ahead. Cadets read that well. LaDamian Guyton, Cam Cody. That Jaden Houston in there on the tackle as well.
Yeah, I think it was just everybody in that front four right there got a hand on the back. Really nice job. Cam Cody kind of led the charge right there, held them up, and then waited for the troops to rally.
So this is 3rd and 10. This is where you'd like to have Burke pretty much all night long. And they go quick, that little muddle huddle that we see Auburn and teams have done in the past, where they break and come sprinting up to the line.
Little check with me.
And again, with a backup quarterback, what's in the playbook on 3rd and 10? How many times are you going to run kind of a little leak out concept?
That I think a lot of it too is it could be a 2-down territory here.
They're going to call timeout with 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. We'll step aside while the Bears talk it over. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebbq.com.
Welcome back here to Burke County out of the timeout. 30 seconds left in the quarter. And as you said, when you're running the football, Christian, that clock will bleed away on you. You feel like BC has kind of dominated this first quarter. It's only 7-0.
And they've only ran about 8 plays.
Yeah. So 3rd down and 10 here for the Bears. Again, going with their backup quarterback, Ashton White. In for the injured Sean Vandiver, a 3-year starter. They'll play action here on 3rd. Oh, Cam Cody was all up in there, and you lost a man over the middle. Going to be caught.
I think it'll be short.
At the 35. They will be short, but 4th and 2. They may wait for the quarter to run out and talk this over if they want to go for this. But Cam Cody was there, and just, again, Christian, it's that eye discipline of who do you lose. That time they lost the tight end, kind of leaking out off the line, and he just turned around 8 yards downfield and caught the football.
Yeah, it was a nice job by the quarterback there, just getting it out, knowing where his receiver was going to be.
And that's going to do it for quarter number 1. So we'll walk to the other end. Cadets lead at 7-0. This is Cadet football presented by Cash and Carry.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Want to make some extra cash just by sitting on your couch? At Cash and Carry in Savannah, Georgia, we buy any car, no matter the condition, and take it right off the road. Just visit the link, enter your car details, and get an instant offer. Cash and Carry, turning cars into cash without leaving your couch.
Go second quarter. It's going to be 4th down and 2. Burke County, they move, and false start on the Bears, the indication. So finally, one of those 3rd or 4th and short to go the other way for the Cadets. And now Burke County going to have to punt the football as 4th and 7 not necessarily in the cards for them at this stage, hanging around 7-0. So Cadets will get the football back. Again, the punting situation, going to be short, going to be low. That's what we've seen so far. First 2 punts here for Burke County. That's high and short. Bubba got a fair catch it at the 17, make it 18-yard line, and that's where BC will take over 1st and 10. So, again, Christian, when you play a team that wants to control field position, run the football, I feel like BC's dominated this game, and it's 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, you've only had 2 drives, and one of them started inside their 40. So can you take this the length of the field? BC shown the propensity to do it a little bit early in games, but has struggled later in games. Now you're getting to the middle part. Can you execute when you need to, go up 2 scores, and really put them in a scary situation?
So Cadets will come out in some flex bone of their own. Cannon going to throw. They'll caught Karan Hall with the catch, and he goes out of bounds, shoved out at about the 27. Going to be very close to a first down, right at the stick. If they mark it on the far side, going to be close, and that's a guy, Christian, you'd like to see kind of start to have some effect. He's 6'3", 6'4", big body, be physical, get him the football.
And just so athletic. You'd love, like you said, to see him start getting some more targets, but it's just there hasn't been the results you want to see when he's been targeted. So good to see that positive step forward for Karan.
They did give the Cadets the first down, so BC Brothers moving the chains. They'll move them ahead, and a fresh set of downs here for the Cadets. Here's a give. It'll be Stanley Smart near side. Oh, nice cutback there by Stanley. And he'll get slung out of bounds after a gain of about 9 there on first down. That'll play Christian Gokel.
Yeah, now backside guard and tackle pull, a little buck sweep right there, Kevin. And it's kind of the play BC was built on. Stanley Smart executing it very well.
And this has been something I think, let's see what the Cadets do here on 2nd and short. Little counter. This is Mallard. He'll cut back inside. He'll have the first down. Gets stood up at the sticks, but that's something they should move the chains. Yes, they do. BC Brothers moving the chains. And the power run game here in 2025, Christian, say what you want about the other aspects of the offense. Power run game has been something that has been vastly improved by the Cadets here.
Absolutely, but can you then take that and turn it into an explosive passing game because they're so worried about it? That's the next step for this offense.
So 1st and 10 for the Cadets. They'll give it Stanley Smart. He'll go left side this time. Cut it, but got a nice hole in the middle. There goes Stanley at the 50-45. Can he break a tackle? No. Touchdown saving tackle at the 41 of Burke County, but what a run by Stanley Smart.
And that's what you want from your bell cow back. You've been feeding him, and then he busts one right there. Number 5 saying, hey, give me the ball again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's it.
So 1st and 10. Now Steven to throw. Got time. Steps up in the pocket. Going to let it go. Has a man over the middle. Bubba Frost picked off. Did not see the safety coming backside. And intercepted. Tackle by Karan Hall. And Bubba Frazier was wide open. Threw the ball a little behind Bubba. If he throws it more towards the pylon, I think it's a touchdown. Threw it behind, and the trailing safety I don't think he saw till it was too late.
And it's one of those things where, number 4 is such a playmaker for you and Bubba Frazier, but Stephen Cannon had about 15, 20 yards of just green grass in front of him. Take what the defense gives you. Don't want to throw back across your body like that. If he's starting coming up to the right, tries to throw it back to the hash, like you said, then you throw it behind your guy, give the safety time. It was a good pocket. They just dropped a bunch of guys into coverage. Take what the defense gives you. It's just one of those things. Last week, you just get punished so much. You want to make that explosive play through the air, but again, let it come to you. Don't force it.
Did last week speed the clock up on Stephen Cannon. And what I mean by that is didn't have time to set and throw.
Yeah. I mean, there was so much time that time, and he took it.
Here's a little counter back near side. Cadets read it well. That was Cam Cody to finish it off. I think Larson Little, is he coming off the bottom of that pile? Yes, it is. And that's what you like to see. D-tackle and linebacker making plays against a wing T.
And if nothing else on that throw from Steven, it basically turns into a long punt. So flip the field at least.
So wing T look once again here for I'll move the tight end around. Now they'll play action. They've run this at BC, reads it well, and oh, no. Yep. You saw the flag coming in. I think Wyatt Estabrook hit him about 4 seconds too early. Hit him in the back. I don't know that the pass was going to be completed, and Wyatt was just way early getting to the receiver.
And it's like the fourth, fifth time they've run that same play, and Wyatt read it very well, but you got to let the quarterback throw it first.
So another free first down for the Burke County Bears. Again, you're kind of playing right into Franklin Stevens' hands here. Hey, we want to control the football, make your defense play, and if you're going to give us free first downs, we'll take that all night long.
And you just see the frustration from Cam Cody talking to his guys like, listen, we got this. We just don't need the extra. Just do your job.
So 1st and 10 after the penalty. Here's the snap. The inside give, nicely read and going to be wrapped up. I believe Cam Cody got him. He did. After a gain of about 1, it'll be 2nd down and 9. And the give there to Landon Wright.
Yeah, it was a nice job by basically everyone on the line. You had Gavin Smith setting his edge, LaDamian Guy set his edge, and then Cam Cody came up the middle. Really nowhere for the running back to go.
So 2nd down and 8. And here's a quarterback keeper. Nope, oh my goodness. Cam Cody did the Stone Cold Stunner. Right there on Ashton White, just picked him up and said, you want a suplex? And they started blowing the whistles as soon as he got vertical.
Yeah, I mean, that was the Jalen Carter against LSU in the SEC championship with Jaden Daniels. Like, just quarterback ran right into his arms, and Cam Cody, I don't know if you can see 55, but that is a large human being. That was pretty cool. And I don't think that was as bad for the quarterback as it could have been.
No. Saved by the bell, right? Saved by the whistle. 3rd down and 8 here for
quarterback.
Burke County.
You just got to kind of gently set them down, and Burke County's got to go. They've only got 5 seconds left on the play clock.
And again, you got a young quarterback in there. 2-1. They get it off in time. He's going to drop back a little screen. Nicely read that time. And that was Larson Little. And BC knew what was coming. And it's going to be 4th down. And that is something, again, I think as this game goes on, you're not going to get beat deep by Burke County, at least right now. Again, if Vandiver was playing at quarterback, maybe you worry about it, but anything more than about 9-10 yards downfield is probably off the table.
Well, and I never want to criticize coordinators, but you run such a run-oriented offense that the defense is going to stick in man-to-man, so it's really hard to kind of run those screens because you're not going to fool anyone.
Oh, Cadets almost got that one. And a fair catch by Bubba at the 35.
But you're not going to fool anyone because you have a guy keying on him, and Larson, that was his man that time. So screen plays in this style of offense, unless you're just gashing him, really hard to run.
So Cadets with great field position here. Their second possession of the quarter. Again, turnover last time. As they're trying to get out of their own way, for lack of a better phrase here, Christian.
Again, just take what the defense is giving you. That's what you did. You handed it to Stanley Smart a bunch. You're taking some underneath stuff. Just take what they're giving you. They're playing too high. It's going to be tough to throw deep, so just take the underneath stuff.
So Cannon with an empty set here. Steps up in the pocket. And looking, he'll throw, has a man wide open. It's caught. That is Hall up the left side. Cuts back inside and will be drug out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A nice pitch. Oh, my goodness, and a flag against the Cadets. They're going to call a hold. They were kind of signaling towards, who is that, Noah Brainerd. And again, Cadets unable to get out of their own way, Christian.
Yeah, and a really good job by Steven keeping his eyes downfield, but I think maybe he bailed on that pocket a little bit early. He tried to run back and around the pocket instead of just stepping up into it. Just a three-man rush, I believe, and that kind of puts your offensive linemen in a tough situation because they're trying to block back and around, and all of a sudden you're there, so they have to take the guy a different way, and that's where you get a hold a lot of times, and exactly what happened right there. I think you could have called it on either one of BC's tackles.
So that goes from a potential first down to 1st and 15.
But Hall getting more and more involved in the offense.
So first and long here for the Cadets. They'll fake it, and nice throw back, Bubba Frazier. And Bubba will get drugged down at the 29, so give him a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 11.
I'll say, if nothing else, you have that penalty on first down, so you have 3 plays to try to pick up 20 yards.
And again, some of these are more of those rhythm plays you see to kind of get Steven going. Hey, snap it, throw it to Bubba, let him do. Let him make a play. I'll check back here with the near side or their far side. The Vuvuzelas at Burke County. They'll throw an underneath bubble screen, and that was almost intercepted. And I think A.J. DePhillips is absolutely beside himself. You can hear him in the box. Hopefully you can't hear him. But he is absolutely – I think he is frustrated with the lack of focus of his offensive unit right now. Penalties, non-execution on certain plays. And, again, I think that's one of those – Christian, if A.J. DePhillips calls a bubble screen, that's a, hey, we need to execute that 98% of the time.
Yeah, that tunnel screen right there to Bubba, you got to be able to get that one off right there. And not only was it almost a delay of game, but almost disaster with the interception.
So third down. Steven going to look to throw it. Now he's going to tuck it near side, make a man miss, turns on the Jets. I think he's going to have a first down. Did he get out far enough? They'll mark him at the 45. That should be it. That should be a first down. So good recognition, Stephen Cannon, to pick up the first down. BC Brothers moving the chains.
Man, need more of that right there, especially if teams are going to drop coverage like that. Steven's so athletic and so fast. And I know in a non-region game, you don't necessarily want your quarterback making those kind of plays, but it opens up such a big part of this offense.
Now you got to spy and make sure he doesn't do that.
Right.
And that's one less guy that can cover Mallard, Bubba, and Karan Hall in the formation. I'll come back, Stanley Smart. That was not blocked well at all.
That anybody blocked on that one.
That will not be well. And now you got to come out the game. How many helmets have popped off for Burke County tonight? By the way, I just thought I've noticed it about 7 times. Guys coming in and off the field.
I mean, it looked like a buck sweep and they heard zone, and just nobody hitting the correct assignment on the offensive line on that one.
So second down, they'll run it again. Here comes Smart near side, and Smart's going to get turned back.
Okay, here's my problem with that play, Kevin, is you have your guy, your running back, running hard, hitting the edge. You get to where you need to be as the pulling guard and tackle, but as the play ends, there's 5 blue shirts around your running back, and you're not touching anybody. As an offensive lineman, you got to find work. You got to be hitting people, and there's too many plays you see end with BC offensive linemen staring around and staring at each other instead of hitting somebody. I don't care if it's the right guy. Go get somebody and hit them. Because there's a chance your guys are so talented, Stanley Smart maybe breaks a tackle, and you got to be engaged.
3rd and 12 here for the Cadets. Cannon flushed up into pocket, looking, going to let one go up the right side. He's got Bubba Frazier. Is caught. 10-5 and touchdown. Bubba Frazier going to trot it in, and Stephen Cannon waited till the absolute last millisecond to let that one go and found Bubba Frazier. There's you an explosion play, Christian Gokel.
You ain't lying, and if I got Bubba Frazier one-on-one, I'm taking that shot more often than not. That's a great job by Steven showing off the cannon right there, and that's kind of –
I didn't tell you to do it. Dad joke of the night. Dad joke of the night.
Hurt. I apologize to everyone at home. But showing off the rocket arm there for Stephen Cannon, but better job by him stepping up in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. Huge play.
Parker Lewis puts it through. It's 14-0. Cadets lead it. We're coming right back here. Cadet football presented by Cash and Carry.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at JVD Attorney. BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
So the Cadets on a big hookup. That's 2 touchdowns. Stephen Cannon to Bubba Frazier. They lead it 14-0. John Brenton here to kick it left to right for the Cadets. And he will once again be consistent about the 7-8 yard line. Let's see if the Cadets have it covered this time. They do not. Slipped a tackle, but then a shoestring grab there about the 26-27 yard line. And so a nice saving tackle there up the middle. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Burke County.
Yeah, that's one of those ones, Kevin, you go back and watch, and you're like, okay, against maybe these returners, you can make that happen. But if you've got somebody who's got somebody super dangerous back there, that's a big area of concern.
3 minutes, 44 seconds here to go in the second quarter. This game has been cruising by. Of course, every time Burke County has the football, you know it's 2-3 minutes minimum going to run off the clock because they're just very methodical. And here's a rollout again. They throw it short. BC, it's open again. And Christian, that's the only pass play that works right now for Burke County, but they're executing it almost flawlessly here against this Cadet defense, who is obviously selling out for every wing tee concept you can find here.
Yeah, and you're giving a run look coming to the left and then countering to the right and just hitting a guy coming back that way. And it's really just an extension of the run game so far, Kevin. And BC has seen it 6 times now. Got to make the adjustment.
And again, this with Ashton White, their backup quarterback, playing tonight. Their 3-year starter, Sean Vandiver, ruled out for the football game. A lot of talk that were this a region game, he would play, but seeing as it is not, they are holding him out. And now Franklin Stevens wants a timeout. They can't get on the same page. 3:11 to go here in the first half. We're coming right back. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com. Criminal defense, family law, DUI, and divorce. You need representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted a Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023. Online at jvdattorney.com.
Welcome back here to the Bear Den in Waynesboro. Cadets lead at 14-0 with 3:11 to go here in the first half. It'll be 1st down and 10 here for Burke County. Trying to move the football here before the half. Cadets trying to keep him right here. White this time out of a shotgun. He'll keep it himself, go straight ahead across the 45 into BC territory before Wyatt Estabrook meets him at the Cadet 47. That'll be another 1st down here for Burke County.
Yeah, it's a midline quarterback read right there. Kind of reads the defensive tackle, and if he goes with the running back, he's going to pull it out of his gut and run right where that defensive tackle was, and that's exactly what happened, just gutting BC up the middle. And I think 2 goals right now for Burke County, Kevin. Obviously, they want to put points on the board, but I think also you don't necessarily want to let BC touch it again.
And the Cadets will get the football coming out of the locker room. Burke trying to get lined up. Now they'll move a tight end around. Now White's ready to go. Take the snap. Oh, he lost the football. Gets it back and gets blown up immediately. Larson Little, I think. Who was that? Was that Cam Cody getting back there?
Yeah, have a little tackle over right there. They had a tight end lined up as a tackle on the left side, and they were just trying to overload and think of a wildcat right there. But as we've seen so many times in the past, when you get somebody back there who's not the quarterback, the first time they're trying to handle that snap can be pretty disastrous.
That was Isaac Scott, excuse me. They got Cam Cody out of the ball game right now, giving him a rest.
I think it's one of those end of the quarter, like in basketball, where you let the star kind of get some rest where you can.
They got Jameer Lee playing that nose guard spot. He's played, I think, all 3 defensive line spots tonight, has the youngster. Here's the snap on second down, looking flushed and going to be slipping out of the pocket. And White going to be brought down finally by Jaden Houston and Larson Little, but into BC territory at the 47, 48-yard line. And did the Cadets call timeout? I think they did. So Danny Britt wanting to get the football back potentially.
And I was going to say, Guyton burning off the edge that time, got his hands on the quarterback, but these are guys who are kind of run-first quarterbacks. They're not going to go down just by slapping them on the shoulder. So nice job by the quarterback getting out of that and picking up what he could. But still, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, I think that was Danny Britt. It's going to be 3rd and 11, actually. So I think Danny Britt saying, hey, if we can stop them one more time, should get the ball back with a minute and a half. Can we run a 90-second drill to get some points on the board? Haven't been a lot of opportunities to even try that so far in 2025.
Right. Good time for the old 2-minute drill if you can. And sometimes that's when BC is at their most explosive, just because you have so many great athletes out there at those skill positions. You get the defense going fast too. All of a sudden somebody misses an assignment. You got somebody running wide open.
I think this is an interesting call here for Franklin Stevens, because now that you kind of tipped your hand, you're going to call timeout here. You're not really in 2-down territory, and you know it's going to be a short punt. So it's not like you're pinning them deep to make them go 90 yards. You're probably going to give BC the football at the 25, best case scenario, if you don't pick up any yardage here. So that's certainly enough with 90 seconds for you to take a couple of shots to get down the field.
Yeah, I was going to say, I doubt this one goes in the air.
And they're going to give to the fullback. BC read that nicely. Straight up the gut.
Yeah, if nothing else, BC,
tackle made by Gavin Smith. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, force BC to burn another timeout right there.
So that play took 6 seconds. It'll be 4th down and 10. And again, just watching the punt game, Christian, you would expect BC is going to get this at around the 25, probably best case or worst case scenario offensively. Just been low, kind of not very deep. It's been a interesting time with the snaps for them as well. And you say, well, the ball's at the 47. Well, the punter is going to be probably about the 40 of Burke County, and it's going to be low line drive. So you're going to get it in decent field position with about a minute 20.
Yeah.
And still have a timeout. That's plenty of time to run your offense and get down the field.
Well, I think you do 2 things here. You set up a punt block, and you put 2 guys back. So you'll probably see Aaron Mallard and Bubba Frazier back there to return this, and then you send the other 9 guys. But, Kevin, with high school rules, clock stops after a first down, so you have time to move it down there. So I think full playbook, at least until you get to midfield, and then you start just taking shots, opening up a little bit. But Stanley Smart's definitely going to be involved. Those underneath tunnel screens going to be a big part here. But first things first, can't have any penalties on this punt.
Yeah, don't want to give them a free first down here. And BC does just what Christian said. I think Christian paid attention in the meeting this week.
They don't know that I bug the rooms.
So on 4th down, snap is back. The kick is up and off to the left. Bubba Frazier at the 25, going to circle back towards the 20. Quit running backwards, Bubba, and go upfield. There he goes. And spins out of a tackle and gets down at the 25. So ran a long way to end up at the 25. How prophetic am I?
There you go.
Christian, I said, hey, worst case, probably 25-yard line.
It's like we've been watching football for a while, Kevin, specifically high school. But that's the problem, that when you don't get home on a punt block, is you got Bubba Frazier looking at 7 blue uniforms.
Right.
Not a whole lot of space to go right there, but dang, he danced for 3 yards.
So a minute 15 here for the Cadets. They do have 1 timeout. I got to go pretty good ways, I would feel like, to get into John Brenton or Parker Lewis field goal range.
Or Stephen Cannon.
Here's the little flare out. This is going to be Bubba out in the flat. Can he make a man miss? He does, but it gets tripped up out across the 35 is going to be short. That's going to make it 2nd and 1. Clock's going to keep rolling.
I was going to say, man, one more yard and that clock stops, but now you got to go fast. But good little play to get the drive started.
Snap to Steven. He's going to look back, now roll, take the first down, and he'll throw it. Has a man, threw it behind Mallard. Had to throw back across the body. And, Christian, I know the clock stops, but that's one where I think you say just run towards the sideline, get the first down, and just stop the clock.
That's exactly right, Kevin. Unless you have somebody just running wide open, you had 5-6 yards you could pick up. Even if you don't get out of bounds, clock stops while they reset the chains. And A.J. DePhillips is standing up right now because I think he probably feels just about the same way.
So 4 wide in the formation here for BC. Snap to Cannon. It's 3rd and 1. Steven going to step up, throw, caught, and Bubba steps out of bounds at the 48. Danny Britt was, I think, sprinting. Might have been thinking about timeout if they didn't get out of bounds. But 41 seconds, still a lot of time.
Good job by Steven. I think he's made a concerted effort to find number 4 as much as possible tonight. And that usually, that maths.
You need, what, about 30 more yards? I would think at least. Here's Cannon looking, going to throw right back. Bubba Frazier out of bounds. If they're going to give you that soft zone, Christian, just take it 8-9 yards at a time as Bubba goes out of bounds, 36 seconds.
Well, it's good play calling. They're running cover 2, and they're kind of bracketing Bubba, so you have a safety over the top and a cornerback underneath, and they're just telling Bubba, hey, run past the zone for the corner and just kind of sit down before the safety. That's a really good job of Steven layering those passes in there.
So 1st and 10, BC Brothers moving the chains, first down on that pitch and catch. Cannon looking and going to take it and thought about running and now does out of bounds and going to get maybe a yard or 2. And that time the clock's still rolling. If he got out of bounds, I don't know why the clock is still rolling. Even BC saying, what's the deal with the clock? And now they got it. The lead official saying, yeah.
That should be 30 seconds on the clock for the Cadets.
Yeah, Danny Britt, I think, was running out towards the numbers like, what are we doing? We got out of bounds. Obviously don't want to waste their time out.
That's that home cooking.
But, I mean, again, Christian, this is, kind of football 101. If you're A.J. DePhillips, if you're going
25 on the clock.
If you're going to give me 8 yards and let me get out of bounds, I'll do that all the way down the field and kick a field goal.
Yeah, but you're going to have to do it a few more times, and are you running out of chances to get the ball down the field?
Here's the snap. Cannon on a straight drop, flushed, and going to go down. You're going to have to use it now. And kind of a nice, Danny Britt calls timeout with 16. I don't know if you noticed that, Christian, that time. Smart play by Steven Cannon. He got in one of those bear hugs like we saw Cam Cody give somebody earlier. If you noticed, he just stuck a knee down.
Yep.
Like, I'm down, stop the clock.
A forced kneel.
Yeah. And kind of a smart play to get it blown dead so you can call timeout. But now it's 3rd and 8. And again, up the middle rush right now, Christian, is starting to bother BC. I think not getting off the ball up the middle. The side pocket seems to be holding. It's the up the middle, and I think that's probably cause for concern because looks like Burke, who plays a 3-3-5, is just sending one extra guy. It's a matter of where's he coming from, and they're not picking it up the middle.
It's just one of those things, Kevin, where you're playing a good defensive front, and when they know you have to throw, they just kind of pin your ear back and get after the quarterback in the pocket right there. And they're doing a good job of kind of controlling that attack too, where they're not just flying upfield and letting Steven slide up and run. You have 2 or 3 guys that are kind of spying him, but the 3 defensive linemen are doing a good job staying in their pass rush lanes as well, not really giving him anywhere to go. But, man, you got such good receivers here. No timeouts left. Just try to find something on the outside. Let Bubba make a catch. Let Hall make a catch. You got Mallard out there as well.
Can't be short of the first down here.
Right, but just give those guys a chance to make a play.
So 3rd down and 8.
And if nothing else, you just take a shot on 4th down.
So here's the snap. Cannon looking, going to be flushed out to his right again. Steven winds up, throws, and behind. Bubba Frazier would have had him at the 9, and Bubba would have been going out of bounds, but it's 4th and 8. You're obviously not in field goal range here. And yes. I think with 13 seconds, like you said, I think you go for it. And if you don't get it, I don't believe Burke can go 62 yards with no time.
Plays,
in 2 seconds or anything like that. So the ball's on the 38. Cadets.
You got 15 seconds on the play clock. Got to go.
I mean, if you take a delay here, nothing, I guess, really hurting the grand scheme of thing. Cadets trying to get bunched up. 2 on a play clock. Here's the snap. Cannon looking in the pocket, and now going to be flushed to his right. A flag comes in, and Steven just going to slide down with 5 seconds, but let's check the flag. It came from the backfield, the Burke County side, so that umpire in the middle of the field threw it. What does that usually portend?
That's usually a hold.
And I think Franklin Stevens said, yeah, we'll decline it, and we'll just kneel on it probably with 5 seconds. Yep. So a hold against BC. They will decline it, and it will be 1st and 10 for Burke County. So a drive there kind of stalls out with 5 seconds. And I think Burke County is probably going to victory formation this thing and go to the locker room. And if you're Franklin Stevens, 14-0 with a backup quarterback, you're probably thinking, guys, we're not in that bad of shape.
Yeah, and really, you gave up one big pass to Bubba on a drive that had kind of stalled out, and the other one you gave BC a short field. So Burke kind of feeling what BC's felt through the first couple of games where offense hasn't done a ton against you, but one broken play and then one short field is tough to overcome against a good team.
And they will victory formation. And Christian Gokel, I don't know if I want to be in the offensive huddle.
Brother.
When BC gets back to the locker room, there will be a steaming A.J. DePhillips meeting them when they take the long walk up the stairs and head to the locker room. That was a couple of series where execution just not there. And I think especially in the last drive or two, when you got to go 2 minute, not passing off the right guys and couldn't give Steven enough time to kind of let some of those downfield plays develop.
Yeah, and again, I think it's okay if it's between the whistle, right? If something happens between the whistle, you miss a block, somebody drops a pass, something like that, that's fine. But just struggling to get lined up and then execute where you're supposed to go during the play, that's kind of unacceptable now 3 weeks into the season, really 4 after that Camden scrimmage. And I think that's what A.J. DePhillips is hot about right now. So
they will have a spirited conversation in the locker room, to say the least, when they get there. But the Cadets lead it 14-0. It is the Bernard Williams halftime report, and it is coming your way next here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at Bowtie Barbecue CO. BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Christian Gocal, Kevin Thomas here with you, the Bernard Williams halftime report. Cadets lead it 14-0. Christian, defensively, they have dominated here tonight, and they lead it just 14-0. Offensively, I think a lot of things for the Cadets to work on. Blocking assignments, your kind of thoughts on the offense. 2 touchdowns, 2 Stephen Cannon touchdown passes to Bubba Frazier, but offensively, at times looks like maybe he's getting the happy feet. Offensive line not probably helping with that discomfort, but where do you feel offensively they've been tonight?
It's interesting, Kevin, because it just doesn't feel like you have an identity as of yet. BC, so many talented players, but nothing's kind of flowing. It's like you're still trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work right now, and it's interesting. I don't know about you. I feel like they haven't necessarily committed to running the football as much as they could. Now, I know there's some situations where you try to run on first down, doesn't really go anywhere, so you feel like you have to throw. Then all of a sudden it's an incompletion and you're in 3rd and long again. Or at the end of the half right there where you're trying to go down the field and score with a minute and a half left. But during the run of play, first, second quarter, Stanley Smart has had some big runs. It's a big run to Stanley Smart, and then we don't see him again for 4 or 5 plays. So I'm wondering if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I know I've got Aaron Mallard, I know I've got Bubba Frazier, and I've got all these talented guys all around here, but man, the offense seems to really work when we give the ball to number 5, and then let's see if that pops open some other guys. So there's that, and then again, I just think offensive line thinking too much, and I don't know how much of that has to do with maybe what happened in the last game, but you just got to go out there and have nothing else, give effort till the whistle, and I haven't seen that on every play so far.
I think also, Christian, you talked about this as one of your keys for the season. Who's going to be that guy? And maybe you're just missing a Josh Washington who's out with injury right now, but I think you need that next guy to step up and get open and make plays. Karan Hall had a couple there. Is it going to be Stuart Dunn? Can you get him more involved in the offense? Bubba's going to get his. I mean, he's got 2 touchdowns, pretty much the focal point. But who else are you having to respect if you're an opposing defense right now in terms of catching the football? Somebody's got to be that guy. And I don't want to say you're forcing the ball to Bubba, but who's that guy you need to maybe just give a second look to and say, maybe we do need to force a ball or 2 their way just to draw some eyes, some coverage, some respect somewhere else?
Well, so I think you're doing that with the play designs, but is Steven just saying, hey, I'm looking for number 4 and kind of forcing the ball that way because he has that comfort level with him where he knows Bubba will make a play. You even saw on the interception there, he's going to try to force it to Bubba regardless of where he is. So is that maybe just hey, I just got to have faith, like I have faith in number 4 that I can throw it to Hall or I can throw it to Dunn and that they're going to make plays for me right now. But that's one of those things, Kevin, where it's not just Friday nights where you kind of develop that. It's during the run of play during practice. And if your quarterback doesn't feel comfortable slinging the ball to you unless you're wide open, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of targets during the game.
Yeah, offensively, it's been a continued work in progress here. Defensively tonight, Christian, I mean, what more can you say? They flowed to the football outside of really those kind of leak out routes, which have been a success tonight. Burke County hasn't done much, and you would expect backup quarterback, don't really have or haven't seen the arm to really throw the ball downfield. It really takes away, if you're Galen Houston, what you have to worry about in terms of defensive play calling. You can kind of say athletes go athlete and flow to the football. I don't feel like if BC plays up to snuff defensively, like 14 points would probably be enough, but it feels like you should be winning by more right now. Defensively, they've been dominating tonight.
Yeah, and it starts up front. Cam Cody and co are really having their way right now with that Burke County offensive line, but there's been some stuff that's frustrating. Face masks, defensive holds, just, again, you're off the field, and then all of a sudden yellow flags on the field, and you're continuing that drive. That's kind of hurt BC a little bit, but it's small stuff against a good team like Burke County. They've scored 90 points coming into this game through 2 games. They're a team that's familiar with finding the end zone, so they're going to have plays they feel comfortable going to and picking up some yards. You gave up the big run on that the quarterback midline read right there, but besides that, I think BC's done a really nice job, and it's been a few guys, Kevin, that don't necessarily start all the time. We saw Jonathan Black make a really nice play, but on the other side, Amari Burse, who started the season as your backup quarterback and kind of fourth corner, he's the one out there making plays there as well. And I think the linebackers as well, Larson Little, Houston's done a good job as well. Good job wrapping up and just not letting that second effort become a big play. 3-4 yards, that's all right, but we got to get off the field.
Yeah, defensively, I feel like Burke County may not score if you keep just because of the situation they're in where how limited is the playbook? Sophomore quarterback can't really push the issue downfield. I feel like BC's got to pin their ears back and keep it where it's at. I think the frustration lies right now where it's like you feel like, again, your own worst enemy's wearing a white jersey tonight,
Right.
and you're saying, much like Colquitt County, could it have been 28-10? You feel like this game could be 28-21-0
Sure.
right now, and you're just keeping Burke County in the football game.
Yeah, and again, defensively, you're playing well. Now can you start being lethal where, hey, I get that you're stopping them and getting off the field after 6-7 plays. Let's get off the field after 3 plays. Let's take the football away. Let's score. This is something BC is really famous for over the past few years, is turning the football over and putting points on the board defensively. And then offensively, Kevin, again, I'd love to see them kind of lean on that run game and just get Stanley Smart lathered up in this one, because he's becoming more of that bell cow back. Let's see him get some more touches, start to bust some, and then see if that starts drawing up. Because right now, Burke County playing 2 safeties over the top and trusting that their front 4 can get it done.
We are at the half. Burke County, 0. Benedictine, 14. We're rolling along here on the Bernard Williams halftime report. We're coming right back here on Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Welcome back here to Burke County at the half. Cadets leading it. It's the Bernard Williams halftime report. And Christian, we kind of made a joke of it, but AJ DePhillips was steamed. Even when they ultimately ended up with a touchdown, you could hear him in the booth next door. He and the coaches it's like, yes, we scored a touchdown, but we really did not execute.
Right.
It was more athletes going to athlete and make plays. How frustrated do you think he is that there are some things like I can dial it up, but we just aren't doing what we know we can do? Yeah,
and like I said, it's effort's fine. Like if you're playing really hard and you make a mistake, cool, let's correct that. But it's the mental mistakes before a play and then not finishing plays that I think is driving AJ crazy, where there's multiple times before the snap you going under 10 seconds on the play clock and you're still not lined up. That's frustrating. You have guys kind of looking around at each other on the offensive line while your running back's getting slammed by 3 or 4 dudes. It's things that go back to Pop Warner football that you got to be able to execute. And I know that's what him and the rest of that offensive coaching staff are down there kind of preaching to their guys right now, is you play through the whistle and you play with effort and then let everything else kind of build off of that.
Yeah. So offensively, go out and execute. And again, as you said, I think not a staple of BC football. Offensively, it's, hey, I'm looking for somebody. Who's it going to be? I'm getting next level on the defense. As you said too many times, especially going side to side, you did your job, except you didn't hit somebody at the end. And it's like, hey, you pulled, you got there, you got to the edge. What are you doing when you get there? And I think that's part of the frustration they're getting as well. But BC going to get this ball first coming out of the locker room, so a chance to come out, have your talk, get things corrected, and see where you go right there. I know it's a young offensive line, Christian, but again, some of these things, as you said, when you go to practice, when you go back to spring practice, you've run these things 400 times at least in a practice setting. There shouldn't be, at least for the five guys who are out there 90% of the times for snaps, where am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to be? What are we running? I know in the heat of the game it happens, but again, assignments, and it feels like maybe, especially when they were in passing situations in that kind of 2-minute drive to end the half, not handing off blitzers appropriately, and just Steven. And again, is it happy feet from last week where it's like he's tucking a shade too early and trying to make something happen on the run? What do you kind of read from that?
Yeah, yes and no. And I think he's kind of gotten a little bit better as this game has gone, realizing that he has time, but it's when you do have to scramble, where are you scrambling in? It's kind of the same critique. I know it's a different level of football, but it's the same critique Shedeur Sanders is kind of getting right now in the NFL, where it's you can't go backwards. As a quarterback, you got to step up into the pocket, because when you start bailing backwards, you're kind of losing the plot when it comes to finding guys open down the field, but also you're just giving up ground, making it harder to get back to where you started. So slide up in the pocket, trust your protection, and then that's when you scramble. And we saw him do that a few times to really nice success. But there's also some where he bailed and tried to go around, and against a fast defense like Burke County has, you're not going to run backwards faster than they can run forward. I know that sounds really simple, but it's the fact, and I think Steven's kind of realizing that. So better job as the half progressed of trusting his protection, sliding up, and then trying to make something happen. But I think, Kevin, usually you say, hey, need this guy to keep his eyes downfield and try to make a play. There's been a few times where you're like, Steven, there's 20 yards of green grass in front of you. Just go take it, man, and then we'll try to make something else happen.
Again, important second half here for the Cadets, not only to win the football game, Christian, but this is 2 quarters for the next 2 weeks. So whatever you do here, you got to stew on good, bad, indifferent of what you put on tape here the next 2 weeks. So you're going to have a lot to sit on if you kind of come out and have a haphazard second half here.
Well, that, and it's just, man, it's football, and you only get so many chances. You play less games than any other sport, and coming out, you only have 9 games this season. I was talking about this on the Danny Britt show just back when we used to do all those coaches shows. We had Franklin Stevens on when he was at Ware County, and he talked about, he said, hey, I tell all of my players the football season is $1. Each game is a dime, and you only got 10 dimes. You're already through 3 of those if you throw in the Camden scrimmage right there. Now you're about to be through 4 just like that. We're already basically halfway through the season, getting ready to play Westminster and then run into region play, Kevin. I mean, this stuff goes quick. So 2 things off of that. A, you got to put the silly stuff behind you, but B, what are you saving it for? You got to just lay it out there on the line right now and then kind of let the cards fall where they may. This is one of 10 chances you get this season that are guaranteed to play football. Obviously, you hope to make the playoffs and play beyond that, but man, what are you saving energy for if not this?
Absolutely. So we are getting ready for the second half. We'll come back. One more segment to go here on the halftime show. If you got a question, we'll see if we can answer some here before we get back into the second half. Hit us up in the chat there, and we'll see if we can answer a few questions before we go to the second half. This is the Bernard Williams halftime report on Watch BC Sports.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com. Criminal defense, family law, DUI, and divorce. You need representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted a Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023. Online at jvdattorney.com. As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at barnesrestaurant.com.
We are at the half. Benedictine 14-0. Cadets just now returning from the locker room. So trying to get some things corrected. Even up 14-0 here, Christian. But they, again, just now reemerging, as you see at the top of your screen there from the locker room. You got to come down the stairs and re-enter the field. And I'm sure a long discussion, at least with the offensive unit. I imagine the halftime speech for Galen Houston, defensive coordinator, was keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to go sit down and grab a group.
I know. Probably a little bit more.
I
than
know.
that.
I'm just kidding. But, I mean, again, they've played pretty well outside of a couple of things. And offensively, you just feel like they're waiting on a rhythm to happen. They've had two big plays, both passes to Bubba Frazier for a touchdown. But outside of that, it feels like the offense is just, when we've seen BC well-oiled in the past, Christian, it is just get up there, call it, go. Get up, call it, go, and execute. We haven't really seen that here in this game against Burke especially.
Well, here's what's so intriguing to me about high school football is we talk about it all the time. The only thing that necessarily matters is region play. So I wonder how different potentially the play calling is if this was a region game that matters in terms of where you're going to be seated in the playoffs or if you make the playoffs, because you're not force-feeding Stanley Smart the football and just running him between the tackles and grinding him up, and you're not putting Bubba Frazier back at running back and just handing him the football a lot. It's a lot of load management between these two guys. And so I'm wondering, Kevin, how much of the funk you kind of feel like the offensive rhythm is right now is, hey, we're going to run Stephen Cannon when we get into region play. We're going to run Stanley Smart 20, 30 times a game when we get into region play. We just don't want to do that right now because we don't necessarily have the depth.
Is that a knob, though, you can just turn and say we're going to do it without kind of proving you've
yes and no. If you have depth and you feel very comfortable with that depth, then maybe you can start doing that a little bit more. But with what BC is kind of managing right now, the play calling to me feels like let's do enough to win and get home without any more injuries. Go into a 2-week break, get ready for Westminster, and then go into that region play. Because, again, this team's down Josh Washington, Makai Williams. You're missing JoJo Sutton as well there. Like, you're down a lot of your playmakers right now. Aaron Mallard left the game last week. Bubba Frazier, I don't know that he's been able to play a full game so far this season. So it feels like a lot of load management right now. And again, if you can get out and win 24-0 and you don't have to give each of these guys 20 touches, I think that's probably a win for BC. It might not look beautiful and you're not going to get into a rhythm and it look clunky, but the number one goal is get out of here with a win and then get out of here healthy.
We are at the half, Cadets. You see warming up there across the sideline. We'll take one more break. We'll come back and get you ready to go for the final two quarters from Waynesboro. This is Cadets Football. Watch BC Sports.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
We are back here at Burke County, final minute of warm-up time, and then the Cadets will take the football here to start the second half. So, Christian Gokel, second half, we'll get the ball first. And, again, I think it's the question remains as we talk here in the half. Who are you feeding the ball to here in the second half? Obviously, Bubba's going to get his. Who's that number 2? And I think we've seen guys at times. But is there a guy you can look at and say, all right, Bubba's going to be double-teamed on this play. Who do we know is going to get open? And I think you're trying to have that guy emerge here over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, which is the injury to Josh Washington, it's got to be Aaron Mallard as that number 2. Just the speed that guy has and how explosive he is. he's got to be the guy. But again, can he stay healthy and can he stay on the field? But I think the key to this offense, not just tonight, but going forward this year, is going to be Stanley Smart. You have such an excellent running back right there, and it's just so devastating to another team when you have that guy that can do that. Man, number 5, I think maybe not tonight because, again, load management, but when you get into that region play, he's going to be the guy that has to kind of feature and let everything build off him.
So here we go. Cadets out there. It looks like it'll be John Brenton to kick it for BC. Again, he has not had one go in the end zone tonight. It's been kind of that process. You've been so used to it 7-8 yards deep in the end zone. It's been consistent, I think, for a young man who's kicked for the first time. Christian, it's been, I know we're going the other way, but it's been 5, 6, 7 yard line pretty consistently.
Yeah, and I think what's been working is he's been kicking it where they needed him to directionally kick it. So if you're not going to make it into the end zone, you're going to at least call which direction the field you want to kick it. But fortunately for Mr. Brent, he gets to watch this.
That's
one.
right. I say all that to set up Burke County kicking football. Classic. Hey, we are playing a wing team.
Hey,
classic misdirection on the
exactly. But one of your goals is you only want the opposing team to kick off once a game, and so here's the one for Burke.
And again, a little poocher up the left side, going to be scooped up. No, Bubba better get on it at the 15, and he'll stutter step and out towards the 20 before he's brought down at about the 21. And that was probably a little more adventurous than BC wanted coming out of the locker room, but they'll get it 1st and 10.
Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time, but that football is a weird-shaped object, and it kind of bounces in weird directions. I think Bubba thought potentially that one was going to kick out of bounds, but it just kind of dies right there, and just good job by him getting on it.
So 1st and 10 here for the Cadet offense as they will trot on with Stephen Cannon leading the charge. And they will open empty backfield here right out of the gate. And again, just a 3-man rush for Burke County. And they will keep it with the quarterback, Cannon, and he will lose 2 yards, or maybe a half a yard, back to the 19. And was that a design QB run that just did not develop?
Yeah, that was called in the huddle right there, and you're kind of counting on them biting on, I think it was done in motion right there. But if I'm AJ DePhillips, I'm kind of putting that one in my back pocket because nobody ran with the motion, man.
So they'll go right back under center with the wing tee. They'll go straight ahead, and Burke County right there at the line of scrimmage, maybe a half a yard that time.
Again, if there's one formation they're used to defending, it's that one.
Yeah, that one hasn't been as effective tonight. And Burke County, you see some of their defenders trying to get the crowd into it, would love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out coming out of the locker room. So a big 3rd down early here for the Cadets. Cannon looking, going to step up in the pocket, let it go, and is caught by Bubba. That's a 1st down, and he'll be brought down at the 31. So a BC Brothers movers, moving the chains, 1st down right out of the locker room here, and that'll be a 1st and 10. And when you get in trouble, find number 4, and he'll usually get it done for you.
Same route that you saw BC kind of executing at the end of the half right there where you're just running against cover 2. Stop once you get past the corner and underneath the safety. Great throw by Steven.
Cadets will go back under center. They'll counter. This time it is going to be Mallard. He'll get across the 35 to the 36. So give him a gain of 5 on 1st down. So 2nd and manageable here for A.J. DePhillips and company as they keep it rolling.
And that's not something we've seen a lot tonight. 2nd and manageable, and really concerted effort, first 2 1st downs of running the football and just trying to stay in rhythm and on time.
They'll stay under center, and they'll check back with the far side.
Plenty of time on the play clock. Gonna reload.
Cannon looking. He's got a one-on-one coverage. It's caught. This is going to be Hall. And he'll
go forward.
Get thrown out of bounds. He'll have the 1st down. A flag comes in late. That's got to be a face mask on Burke County. Again, too much side to side, not enough north-south there, Christian Gokel.
Yeah, and I love the play call, and that's the 2nd time we've seen Hall make that catch. It's been a little funky the first few weeks of the season, but really stepping up tonight, and that was absolutely called from the booth there with A.J. DePhillips. They kind of ran some motion from the flex bone, saw what defense the Burke was running and then checked to that quick route right there. But, yeah, if you're Hall, take it and fall forward. Don't dance back 3 yards. Fortunate he's able to recover.
Sometimes when you run a stick route and you go right to the first down and then you stutter step backwards like you were there and you just gave up the first down.
And if a defender doesn't take you there, then that's not forward progress.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for BC. They'll keep the chains moving, thanks to BC Brothers. Moving. Not sure what we're trying to make sure we got the spot right.
I think spot and clock. Yeah, it should have been from the end of the run.
So that'll put it all the way down at the Burke County 28. You got to cash in here if you're the Cadets. So Cannon out of a shotgun as things get set on first down. Here's to give. Smart coming near side. Stanley going to cut back, and he'll lean towards the 26. Give him a couple. And just one of those, hey, first down.
Yeah, and I like it. I mean, they defended it well, but you still pick up 3 yards, and you're right on schedule.
So 2nd down and 8 here for BC. They'll empty the backfield. Put Steven back there by himself.
Might see a jet motion here or potentially a screen.
Yep, they'll put Smart in motion. They'll fake it. Steven will come ahead and break some man miss at the 20, 15, 10. Steven Cannon touchdown on a 26-yard scamper. His 3rd touchdown of the night. A flag comes in. Was that on celebration?
I think that was spiking the football.
So that'll cost BC after the play. And again, Christian, isolated, it wouldn't be that big deal. But you've had just kind of those nonsensical penalties all season long. And that's one, great touchdown run. And now probably on the kickoff, you're going to be kicking way back and give Burke County some great field position.
I just felt like some frustration being aired there for Steven Cannon. Tough week last week, kind of a frustrating first half so far against Burke. But that time able to bust one. And you just saw some stress relief right there. And unfortunately, is a 15-yard penalty for it.
So the point after by Parker Lewis. And this to make it 21-0. So the Cadets come right out of the locker room and go down the field and put one in the end zone. 21-0 our score. This is Cadets football, presented by Cash and Carry.
Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
Dead or alive, we want your car. No matter the condition, running smooth or barely rolling, Cash and Carry in Savannah will buy it right off the road. Visit us now, get your instant offer, and turn that ride into cash today. We buy cars, any condition.
Cadets go 80 yards, Christian Gokel, out of the locker room and push it to a 3-touchdown lead. And now for Burke County, much like last week, 2 touchdowns seem like a lot for the Cadets against Buford. I'm sure 3 touchdowns with a backup quarterback, running-based offense, and you can't really throw it downfield. Seems like a lot for Burke County at this point.
Yeah, this is potentially where you get into avalanche territory where that snowball starts rolling, and then you as a run-first team start trying to get out of what you typically do, and all of a sudden that cascade effect kind of happens. So see what Burke's approach is here. Do they stick with their game plan, or do they try to open it up a little bit?
Yeah, we're walking off the penalty here, so Cadets are going to kick it off from the 25.
Well, if we learn anything from the Camden game, it's the 32.
That is true. So John Brenton will kick it off here for the Cadets. I would lay even money. He's not reaching the end zone on this one.
Yeah, your goal here is just to keep them on their side of the field. That'd be a big win.
And Brenton just going to pop it up, a little pooch kick. Boy, everybody for Burke there who wants it. It's taken at the 35. And that one a little better time for the Cadets to kind of get down and cover it up.
That was a great job.
Could have been disastrous. So you had 4 guys standing within 1 foot of the football for Burke. It could have very easily been dropped, but Cadets cover it much better, even though, as you knew, Burke County going to get great field position here. And now this Cadet defense, which Christian has played beautifully all night long, right back out there on the field.
Yes, like you talked about, Kevin, you're up 21-0. Run-based team. Don't know how many more series you're going to have. And potentially, if you score a couple more touchdowns, you might start putting some of the backups in. This is your last few minutes before a 2-week break, and then you get ready for Westminster. So, got to take advantage of the snaps you have right now.
Looks like Burke maybe going with Ronquavius Morris, number 17. He is also a sophomore. Yep. So 2 sophomore backup quarterbacks. After Van Diver, a 3-year starter, ruled out for tonight's ball game. They go straight ahead with a fullback dive, and
no, sir.
The fullback got it, but there was no dive. It was Gavin Smith, Jaden Houston, Cam Cody, Scott. Pretty much everybody within 5 yards of the football got a piece of that one.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Houston, just feeling that lane right there and hitting the running back, meeting him in the hole. Short gain, 1, maybe 2 yards right there. And, again, they got to huddle every time. Take their time getting to the line. It's 20, 30 seconds before the ball gets snapped. That's not a whole lot of chances left for Burke.
So they'll play action here to the near side, rolling out. Oh, look at the big man, almost got him, Guyton. And that'll be a first down after Guyton came up a little short. Omari Burst brings him down, but you saw the speed there. That was from the off defensive inside.
Yeah.
Christian, he almost tracked him down, but nice speed there out of Morris, maybe a little quicker than White, who we saw in the first half.
Yeah, they've booted to the right a lot on that play to throw, but that time they come to the left, and it was still a pass, but just that motion right there, corners drop off. Good job by the quarterback.
Now a little counter. Jaden Houston hit him first, and then who was there to do the cleanup? Maybe Gavin Smith might have got him, but a gain of maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down and 9.
And it's funny just to watch this. BC's trying to run their flex bone. Burke's trying to run theirs, and these defenses are just so familiar with it.
Split backs. They'll run the power toss sweep. Cadet strung it out nicely, and the cutback was not made. Who was that hit him? Houston?
Yeah, Houston's had a nice series.
And Gavin Smith there to recover and clean him up. Those two have played well. And you feel like within the last couple of weeks, Houston has really grown up a lot at that linebacker spot.
Yeah, and there was kind of a question is who is going to be that guy next to Larson Little? There's 3 guys kind of vying for it, and you're going to see some other guys out there too. They'll go 3 inside linebackers, but Houston, I think, really solidifying himself as one of the better linebackers on the team right now.
So it'll be 3rd down and 6 here for Burke out of the flex bone. They'll motion to the far side, now roll here to the near side. Quarterback going to keep it, cuts back. BC meets him, but he's going to be short. I think they're going to have a flag comes in. I think they're going to be short. Franklin Stevens kind of throws his hand, so I think he feels like this is on Burke. He was going to be about 1.5 yards short.
It's a weird spot, unless there's a block in the back maybe. But BC's kind of walking backwards now.
Face mask against BC.
Yeah.
Well, the way Franklin Stevens reacted, you thought it was against Burke.
I think he was frustrated because the quarterback didn't pick the first down up. He was upset with the spot because that would have been about a half a football length short. But, yeah, face mask, and that's one of those awkward situations where the runner gets stood up, and so you don't have an opportunity just to get in there and finish them off. It's a bunch of guys and hands and fingers and just scratching and clawing going on.
That gives Burke a first down. By far their deepest drive of the night. They'll give a little buck here, and that's Jaden Houston again, the initial hit. And really some discipline to cover the backside there. Looked like Karan Hall was out there on defense for a play, and he kind of cleaned it up.
Again, it's a good drive for Burke. I think they've kind of found something a little bit with that boot action where, hey, it's going to be a pass or the quarterback running, but you're just taking so much time.
Yeah. Also feels like you got a little faster feet at the quarterback spot here.
Oh, yeah, he played a little bit in the first half, but maybe just the better of the thrower of the two.
Here's the play action. They'll roll near side. They'll throw it back towards the end zone. Amari Burst there to break it up. And you kind of see the difference in arm strength between the Cadets and Burke. That was a 30-yard pass that was just kind of lobbed down there. And the Cadets, obviously, with Stephen Cannon, able to put that on a line. They had Omari Burse beat because he was looking in the backfield, and he recovered nicely and broke it up.
Yeah, it was wide open, but just unable to complete it right there. And it's just one of those things where you do such big play actions, it's hard for the quarterback to get the ball off quickly. And Omari, a very good athlete, able to recover.
So this will be 3rd down and 9 from the BC 27. I would imagine down 21-0, and you've gotten as far as you have. This might be 4-down territory here for Burke.
Yeah, field goal with 17 minutes doesn't do you a whole lot of good.
And a punt probably only going to net you 15 yards or so. Here's a rollout. Looking Morris trying to get the corner turn. He does. No, he keeps breaking free.
My goodness.
He will not go down. And finally shoved out of bounds at the 25. Boy, great 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th effort.
No lie.
And somebody is holding a hamstring over there for BC. A flag is out.
Again, I wonder if it's a face mask again.
And a cramp over there on the far sideline. I don't know who that is. Could it be Jonathan Black?
Yeah, personal foul, face mask, BC. Again, it's one of those things where you had him wrapped up, but he just stays up, and you got guys flying in there trying to make the play, and somebody scrapes the face mask.
So a drive continues on 3rd down. That would have been stopped. And Christian, you saw that time, kind of highlighted the face mask because it scraped across the face mask, and then you saw that safety helmet that all the Burke County players are wearing kind of get pulled up a little bit. And when you wear those, it's kind of hard to hide the fact that your hand just ripped across the face. So now it's a 1st down from the 13.
And here's the thing that kills you, and something BC is going to have to work on during these bye weeks is you're off the field.
Yeah.
And you just keep giving them 1st downs.
So 1st down, and this is two back-to-back 3rd downs continued by penalty. Should have been off the field twice on this drive alone. Burke under center, a little counter back here to the near side. BC trying to string it out. Nicely done. Wyatt Estabrook slamming down from his safety position. And that'll be a loss of 1. So nicely read by 2-2 there.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to do. He's your safety. He's your safety valve. Get out there, set the edge, and a really good job. Amari, I know he wishes he could make that play, but just a good job stringing it out and getting there and allowing Wyatt to kind of come up and clean it up.
So it'll be 2nd down and 12.
And a new formation that time, kind of that pro set where you're under center with the 2 split backs. That's that Joe Montana set.
Now you'll go I formation here on 2nd and 12.
Just trying to give BC a different look.
Give to the fullback. And the ball came out. Did BC get it? They say they do. Burke County, of course, saying they have it. Who comes out of the stack with it? Well, the way a couple of those guys are getting up, Guyton. Oh, no, BC has it. Boy, by the way the guys on the ground were getting up, I thought BC did not have the football, but a turnover there by that Cadet defense with 4:02 to go here in the 3rd.
Yeah, it looks like they were trying to run the triple option out of the I formation. Quarterback tried to pull the ball out of the fullback's gut, but just ends up on the floor. And BC, I think it was Larson Little, Johnny on the spot, keeps the old goose egg on the board.
And Christian, that's one of those where defensively, end of the day, you kind of build yourself out.
Yeah.
A couple of
where they build
drive,
you out.
drive continuing penalties, and just a little mishandle on the mesh point gets you out of it. Here's BC now to answer from 85 yards out. Empty set for Cannon here on 1st down. They will fake the give. Cannon near side looking for somebody to get open, and he will just take it out of bounds. Karan Hall on the backside, no way you're going to see it. Kind of on the slant, had inside leverage, but it would have been a throw across the body to try to find him.
And that's one of those ones where you wouldn't hate to see Stephen Cannon throw that one about 10 rows deep. Just get rid of it.
Got to be 2nd down. Well, he did get a yard out of it, so 2nd and 9.
I know, you just don't want him taking a chance and putting his body on the line for no gain.
For 3 feet?
Yeah.
Snap, they'll counter back here to the near side, big hole. This is going to be Stanley Smart, and he's off to the races at the 50, 45, 40. Nobody's going to catch him. There's the track speed, 10, 5, touchdown, 85 yards. Stanley Smart, see you later, and it's 27-0 Benedictine.
That's a little bit more like it. Again, getting the defense running one way.
And now another flag comes in.
And I'm wondering who that's on.
Stanley did give the football a little spin in the end zone, but
Yeah,
this came out way after the fact. And this will drive Danny Britt's nuts. So, fellas, we've scored 4 touchdowns and been penalized on 2 of them.
And you just got to act like you've been there. I know it's been so frustrating this season. And this one's kind of feeling like this half at least feeling like you're kind of exercising some demons. But, man, you got to act like you've been in the end zone before.
And in high school football, they will call it on you. And they're going to assess it on the kickoff. So Parker Lewis, now what do we have? I think we were still trying to, the head official was still trying to get the determination from the Burke County sideline. But Franklin Stevens is like, of course I'm going to take it on the kickoff. So Parker Lewis for the point after to make it 28-0, and it is not going to get there. I think it got tipped at the line of scrimmage. 27-0, our score. We're coming right back. This is Cadets Football presented by Cash and Carry.
As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at marinemax.com. BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
Welcome back here to Burke County. Again, BC will be forced to kick off from the 25. And, Christian, this will be Parker Lewis going to kick off here. And, again, we'll chat with Danny Britt coming up in the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show. And I'm sure, knowing Coach Britt as we do, it'll be glad to get the win. My God, can we stop the penalties?
Yeah. I wonder if Parker tries something different here. Maybe not trying to go deep, but placement.
A directional. Here's Parker Lewis.
No, he's bang it.
Put a good foot into it. Going to hit at the 15. Roll out of bounds. So all things considered, Burke going to get good field position, but probably no worse than a pooch kick.
No, and if you kind of do the math there on that kick, I think that probably rolls into the end zone on a regular kickoff. So maybe Parker Lewis fighting for that kickoff job.
That was not bad. It had kind of like that. It was a line driver, so if he caught it, but it was also one of those low trajectory. So
yeah, and I think it's going to go all the way to the 50, because on a regular kickoff out of bounds, that'd be at the 35. BC kicking off 15 yards back from that. I think this one should be on the 50 potentially. But
45 is where they're
going to
just
settle on the 45 and
put it on the 32. I think they're talking about that right now. So, yeah, 40. Yeah, they're going to pick it up. Good job, Christian.
I know.
So they'll put it right down at midfield. 3:41 to go in the quarter. Benedictine got a fumble recovery their last time they were on defense.
Now you just got to keep your foot on the pedal.
But Morris has come in and run the offense a little bit better here in the second half for Burke County. They'll roll near side. Now he'll tuck it and go. And he'll get into BC territory, gets buckled under at the 43-yard line.
I'll say this: he's earning every bit of his yardage. Nothing's easy right now.
Or did they go back? Defense. Did they go back to? He's going to come to the sideline. They went back to White, number 18. So it's so hard to see, and he's limping. They might have to change quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think they're rotating quarterbacks right now. They're going to call timeout.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're going to call a timeout. That'll be
And Franklin Stevens had to burn a timeout. Their quarterback going to be injured, and that's not what you want to see. First stringer out. Now your second teamer is down. We'll come right back here to Burke County. Cadets up big.
Bowtie Barbecue Company at 6724 Waters Avenue in Savannah serves up barbecue both familiar and new, made by hand and made with love. Family friendly and relaxed, Bowtie takes great pride in the by hand preparation of high quality beef ribs, smoked chicken, pork spare ribs, and more. Come join the Bowtie family. Ask about our food truck and catering too. Bowtie Barbecue Company, Southern charm naturally. Look for them online at bowtiebarbecueco.com.
So timeout for the injured quarterback. And trying to see who Burke's got in there at quarterback. It's a single digit, but it is not. I don't believe it's Vandiver, the senior quarterback.
It's 2.
So they have gone to Rashad Carter, who by our count is the 4th quarterback. Coming here to the near side. Oh, nice hit at the 40, but dragging ahead for a first down. And he was first hit. That was Jackson. And I know you talked with Coach Britt about Rasheem Jackson and how he's been playing. He stood him up at the 35-yard line, but got drug another 5 yards.
Yeah, and Carter, a big-time wide receiver for him. Coming in, I think just, hey, let your athlete play quarterback.
Yeah, 6'2", 180. I think last couple of guys filling in had been 5'7".
That might have been a 180 a couple years ago, but that's a big dude.
And again, you're down in the – you see number 17 hurting on the near sideline. They'll counter back here to the near side, and BC going to wrap him up. That's Amari Burse going to bring him down after a gain of 4 at the 29. So you're already down your starter. Now your backup is banged up. You have played your third stringer, number 18 White was starting in the first half. He's not back out there.
Yeah.
And now you're on to essentially a free safety playing quarterback for you for Burke County.
Free safety, wide receiver, but I think all of their runners, whether it be quarterbacks or running backs, have done a better job here in the second half of just being patient, let the blocks develop a little bit.
So here's the play action. BC reads it well, just missed by Scott. And coming back upfield, Cadets are going to tackle that well. There's Rasheem Jackson again with Big Cam Cody. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
That was a nice job by Scott. I think if anything, you tell him, hey, just get there and set your feet. Don't try to make the huge play back there. Just make the play. And yeah, 3rd down and 10. Not necessarily where you want to be in a flex bone offense with your wide receiver and quarterback. And they're going to have to go fast. Just got to the huddle.
And 12 seconds to go. They don't know how they want to be lined up.
They're going to have to do another timeout.
And in the flex bone, you're not going to get lined up. Burke County's not going to 3, 2, and did they take another timeout?
Yep, they did.
Boy, Franklin Stevens took another timeout. 1:19 to go here in the third. We'll take one with them quickly. This is Cadets football presented by Cash and Carry.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook. Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings is one of Savannah's most popular. Could be the New York style pizza, or the pasta, or sandwiches, or wings. Whatever you choose, Cool Vibes has their own unique style. Check them out at 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah.
We're back here at Burke County. Bears have used their second timeout on this drive. And it will be 3rd down and 10 when they come out of this. Again, if you're just joining us, Burke County onto their 4th quarterback. Van Diver, their starter, is out. A lot of folks have said if this were a region game, he's probably playing. 3-year starter for them. We've seen 2 quarterbacks in the first half, and now here they go with their free safety, Rashad Carter, who has come in on this drive to play quarterback. He'll take the snap, throw it over the middle, too high. Whoa. Oh, boy. Wyatt Estabrook and Amari Burse kind of looking at each other. I thought you were going to catch that.
Yeah, it's kind of like center fielder, left fielder running into each other and like, oh, ball fell.
So 4th down, I think Burke's going to go for this.
I mean, I don't see why not. You're not kicking it.
You're down to just 1 timeout and a quarter of football to go.
Right. Probably don't have a 50-yard field goal in the bag. And like you said, Kevin, down 4 scores.
So here's Carter on 4th down for Burke.
And if you're BC, you're fighting to keep that goose egg up there.
100%. Here's Carter looking. He'll go up the near side. Amari Burst plays center field and hauls it in for an interception. 15-20. He's got a lot of room. Amari up the near side. A 45. A flag comes in. He'll cut back 40 and goodbye. Amari Burst up the near sideline, shoved out of bounds. But I think, Christian, this one's coming way back. Back to the 39. They might get BC for a block in the back or a hold trying to spring
in that
Burst.
Territory. But still, great play by Amari Burse. He's a baseball player, Kevin, and a good one. That looked like he was just shagging balls in the outfield right there. And then you saw him turn on the Jets. But unfortunately for BC, still get the football, but looks like that returns all for naught.
Yeah, blocking the back on the Cadets.
Again, that's kind of the frustrating part is you've played a really good game, but it's like 2 step forward, 1 step back.
So the offense, again, Christian, you'd like to see them continue to play well here. And if you're Franklin Stevens, kind of what Danny Britt said, hey, we'd like to get through this game without anybody else getting messed up in 2 weeks to get healthy. If you're Franklin Stevens, guys, I'm on quarterback number 4 here.
Yeah.
I would like these last 13 minutes to cruise right off that clock.
I was about to say, probably wouldn't hurt his feelings for a running clock.
And here's a little counter. They'll try to work it to the outside. There's 30, 35, 40. Goodbye up the left side. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown all the way. That is Cole Henderson, number 8. And he goes 70 yards for a touchdown on a counter. And hold the phone. Let's see if we get an extra celebration penalty. We do not.
Yeah, it looks like celebrated with the teammates, got off the field. And great blocking that time and really good patience there from the back. And Kevin turned on the Jets right there. Just another guy BC's got in the arsenal. But back-to-back drives for the Cadets. 1 play, 1 touchdown, and really helping that rushing average.
So Cole Henderson, 70 yards, finds pay dirt. Cadets running on a man late here on the point after. And Parker Lewis to try to make this 34-0. Kick is up, and that one's good. 34-0. We'll step aside here in the third quarter. Cadets up big. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Oh, the Cadets, that's how you draw it up. A.J. DePhillips, the blood pressure comes down a little bit. 1 play, 70 yards. Everybody blocked somebody that time, and you lead it 34-0. And Christian, for just those watching at home, might lead us into a running the clock situation here in the fourth quarter.
And Kevin, what I loved about the last 2 touchdowns for BC, again, 2 plays, 2 touchdowns for the Cadets, the last 2 drives, and the offensive line just staying engaged on blocks, giving your guys the chance to make a play with the ball in their hands. Really nice adjustments at halftime from BC.
So here is Parker Lewis up the left hash. Nice foot into it, down into the 5-yard line. Can BC cover? They miss a tackle right up the middle. And then who is that? Conaway with the tackle.
Yeah, kind of the backpack tackle right there.
Yep. And so out to the 30. And I know that's a source of frustration for Danny Britt, who likes to work special teams, is where can we kick it? How can we kick it to not just give up field position and something we can cover at the end of the day?
Yeah, just kind of trying to put it in the corner and then knowing that everybody can run kind of diagonally that way. You have backside guys coming as kind of the safeties right there. That's really big, but, man, I'd like to go 3 or 4 extra yards.
Burke County sticking with Rashad Carter here at quarterback. Again, 6'2". Plays a little free safety form on defense. And the ball is out. Did BC get it? Don't think so. Arson Little says they have it.
Does LaDamian Guyton win the wrestling match?
Arson Little saying they got it. No signal as of yet. Nope,
Yeah.
They're going to say Burke County fell back on it. And if you're Franklin Stevens, I think 1 second different game clock to play clock. You say, fellas, let's go to the other end and play the fourth quarter here.
And just never got the snap that time. And it's tough putting your fourth guy under center and expecting him just clean exchange. Again, some positive stuff from Burke County on offense, but without your starting quarterback, a very talented starting quarterback, it's been tough against a really talented BC defense.
And they're going to take it to the fourth quarter. We will step aside. One more quarter to go here in the Bears Den. Cadets way out in front. This is Cadets football on Watch BC Sports.
Dead or alive, we want your car. No matter the condition, running smooth or barely rolling, Cash In Carry in Savannah will buy it right off the road. Visit us now, get your instant offer, and turn that ride into cash today. We buy cars, any condition.
We go to the fourth quarter here at Burke County. Cadets way out in front, 34-0. It'll be second down and 14 here as we start the fourth quarter. A lot of the Burke County faithful headed to the parking lot to work on their bird dogging skills.
I think they're still heavy favorites to win their region, and really talented team. And 2A, I think their region's got their hands full with this Burke County team.
Some of them may be saying, I've got to head to Athens in the morning.
They'd say
Watch
more
some
than
college football. Get some college football. Georgia Tech playing tonight. Georgia Southern out on the West Coast for 2 weeks, playing Fresno State.
It's nice to be a Georgia Southern Eagle.
Then they're going to stay out there, enjoy the California sunshine, and play Southern Cal the week after that. And, of course, Georgia with the Thundering Herd and the home opener tomorrow. Here's the snap. They'll roll it here to the near side. A little throw underneath, and it was dropped. Nicely read by the linebacker that time. That was Cole Schumann. And we are on the running clock situation after the incompletion. So third down and 14, clock will continue to run. But Cole Schumann that time, haven't called his name a bunch. They've kind of ran off of him. He kind of plays behind LaDamian Guyton a lot. And so a lot of defense runs away from where he's playing. But that time snuffed out the little rollout beautifully.
Kevin, what you got for third and 14?
With my fourth string quarterback, not much, quite honestly. I think Franklin Stevens would probably tell you the same. Fellas, that last 12 minutes couldn't roll off the clock fast enough. And as you said, BC has come in and played really well here tonight, especially defensively. Here's the pass, just blown up. Oh, Gavin Smith missed the tackle. LaDamian Guyton did not, and boy, he took an extra shot from Mr. Lee.
Yeah.
Guyton just kind of turned him around, and then Jameer Lee cleaned him up.
He might be saying, man, this whole quarterback thing, no, what all it's cut out to be.
So that'll bring up fourth down, and Burke County going to punt. But, yeah, Burke County, as you said, going to be heavy favorites in their region. They're a good football team.
Again, used to be in BC's region, moved down from 4A to 2A with the latest realignments. Again, Franklin Stevens knows how to build
and I think
a football program.
Much like BC after Buford last week, it was, fellas, there will be easier Friday nights than what we faced tonight. Here's the snap. BC coming after it. It's short and high. Fair catch called for at the Burke County 47. And let's see here with a running clock if Danny Britt lets Amari Burst get a few snaps here, or a third-string quarterback just to
Well, you wonder,
a little bit.
Do you let the first team go one more time just because this is the last snaps you're going to get
for 3 weeks?
And your last two drives were one play.
But now you're also entering that territory where you go up to number 4 and say you're done. Like at this point, you don't want to. Hey, we're winning 34-0. Don't want anything stupid to happen.
And maybe more so than anyone, just that offensive line. Let those guys get lathered up.
And just on the change of possession, we've burnt a minute. And so that's what happens with the running clock.
And
who's it going to be? It is Amari.
It's Amari, yeah. But it looks like a lot of the first team offensive linemen in there.
And that you can understand. They need to get their reps to try to gel together. Here's the snap. Amari going to give straight ahead. And nice breaking of the tackle. Down inside the 45 to the 43.
Is that Minzy?
Is that number 25?
That's Chris Stokes.
Chris Stokes, 32. And they are very excited about Chris Stokes and what he could potentially do in his BC futures. They'll give it to him again. Oh, nice run off the left side. Makes a man miss. Stokes up the left side. 30, 25. Drug out of bounds. They'll give him the 23-yard line. And Chris Stokes, back-to-back carries, running hard here.
Again, take advantage of these opportunities when you get a chance to get in. Stanley Smart gets winded. Hey, I want to be the first guy off the bench.
They're taking a long look back towards the sideline. Again, running clock.
And 30 seconds still on the play clock.
We'll try to see if BC rotates in some backup linemen. But as you said, Christian, this starting five probably could use as many snaps together. And a little counter trade. Nice give that time. And straight up the middle on his feet inside the 15-10. Still pushing towards the 6. That one is Courtney Ford, number 25.
Yeah, Dontre Ford.
Dontre Ford. I can't read in the dark.
That's
Sorry.
all right. Yeah, he had a big touchdown with the twos against Camden, Kevin. And again, taking advantage of his opportunities when he gets in.
I like to see these guys coming in running hard when they're getting opportunities. And now you're seeing some of these guys kind of get separation on the offensive line a little bit. Cadets will stay in that wing tee. Amari in no hurry. He'll go under center, take the snap. They'll go straight ahead. This is Stokes inside the 5, 4, 3, 2, pushing. Still there. Touchdown. What a run, Chris Stokes. And got the Benedictine push forward, always forward, and got it into the end zone.
And it's a great job. We talked about it. What's the biggest thing, Kevin, I said about the offensive line? You got to stay engaged on your blocks through the whistle. Offensive line kept rolling, and just great balance there by Stokes. And talk about weight room. That one goes out to Steven Reich and that strength training staff because that was just squatting dudes into the end zone.
So here is the point after. Clock continues to roll here in the fourth quarter. Parker Lewis with the point after. Kick it up and good. We'll step aside one more time. Clock will continue to roll and we'll come right back. BC up huge here in Waynesboro.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Welcome back here to Waynesboro. Clock continues to roll here after the touchdown. And BC up big, 41-0. And there's been some frustrations exercised. Some demons of the first 2 weeks exercised out a little bit. And the Cadets with a 41-0. Ball game. Parker Lewis going to kick it again. The clock continues to roll. And
kind of put into context, Kevin, I know against probably opponents not quite of BC's caliber, but Burke County came into this one averaging 45 points a game. So BC against a very talented defense has been able to execute a little bit better.
So here's Parker Lewis, line driver up the left side, and that one is going to get the end zone, hit about the 3 and rolls in there. So not a bad job. And maybe Parker Lewis, as you said, hey, every kick at this point's an opportunity for somebody.
Why not?
And that one finds the end zone. So change of possession here. Burke County, I'm sure, would love to pick up a first down or two and just let this thing be done. And BC's got the backups in on defense.
40 right now, Kevin. When do you think they snap this one?
Yeah, the play clock hasn't even started yet. And again, it's not because Franklin Stevens has given up, but he's on his fourth quarterback. And I think they've actually, trying to get to their region play in as good a shape as possible. And here's Carter. He'll give it straight ahead. BC all over that. Nicely read. And as we said, the full second unit is in there for the Cadets. That tackle made by Thomas Key, junior defensive lineman.
But, man, great push from that second unit. And that's what you want to see when you give these guys opportunity. You go out there and make a play.
Carson Granger in there at nose guard. Jameer Lee out there on the defensive line, probably with the most playing time. Caden Thomas also out there.
I don't know if I'm blocking him. I thought we were putting him back.
So here is Carter under center. He'll give it tail of that eye. Oh, stood up in the hole. Nice tackle. Who was that? Number 53 for the Cadets. It's going to be Connor Rawlings, senior, getting some playing time out there tonight.
Good
just
stick.
Stuck his man right in the hole. Working our way towards 3 minutes here in Waynesboro.
To a well-needed bye week.
We will chat with Danny Britt coming up in the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show. I'm sure the conversation be much more enjoyable this evening. That 2 hour or so bus ride back to Savannah going to be a little more enjoyable.
Again, it's one of those ones, though, where it's 41-0, but it's easy to forget about the mistakes. And so still a lot to correct for the Cadets, but I think that halftime, a lot of it got corrected.
Yeah, here's Carter. He'll roll out here to the near side and made a man miss. Didn't make that one miss. And there's a big tackle again by another one of those linebackers. That's going to be Reed Brennan, the senior.
Big play. Just good job staying at home against a mobile quarterback.
So linebackers still flowing to the football. And even the second unit says, we know how to rotate on a wing tee.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to punt this one away here.
Who is this back deep? Is that Mallard? Just get some hands out there in the back of this one. And then the real question is, how much do you burn off on the change of possession? Here's the snap dug out. Ooh, a line driver. Did that hit somebody?
That hit a Cadet.
Definitely hit somebody there, and I think Mallard dove on it. Did he get back on it? And that's one of those where 41-0, why are you even close to that football?
Well, I hit like 3 different Cadets. And I think Burke County got up with it, yeah.
And I think that'll be a teachable moment on film, fellas. What were we doing?
Yeah, 3 great plays in a row for the defense, and then second unit on the punt team. You got to call fire, fire, fire. Get everybody out of there.
And again, just on the change of possession, you probably going to get it with 30 seconds. And even Burke County, I think Franklin Stevens is like, could you not start the play clock for another minute? And let us just snap this one time. And I think Franklin Stevens is going deep on his roster right here.
The big win for the Cadets. Think back to last season against another very good Burke team. BC kind of bounces back from an 0-2 start against Raven Gap and Buford and kind of starts getting things rolling a little bit against Burke. Almost exactly the same situation this year.
So here's Carter. They'll counter back to the left side. There's a gap there, tripped up. Oh, some extracurricular out there near midfield, but I want to say Brennan maybe got a ankle grab in there and tripped him up. And now, if you're Franklin Stevens, I think he's even talking to the official like, hey, please don't. Just there you go. Yeah, they're not going to do it. And Burke, I don't think is going to snap it again. You can see Carter taking the gloves off, and he comes over to talk to Franklin Stevens. So, yeah, this one is effectively done. I think you see the Cadets starting to pile up there at midfield to go shake the hands, and the final 20 seconds or so just going to roll off this clock. So the Cadets, 41-0, get their first win of the season. Christian Gokel, and a much-needed win now heading into a double bye.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, the second half, really the highlight for the Cadets in this one, able to come out there and execute a few big touchdown runs there. Stanley Smart breaks one. Stephen Cannon breaks one. Henderson breaks one. So a lot of guys executing very well, and just good to see some explosion for the Cadets. That's one of the things we talked about as you see the 2 Georgia Southern alums embrace right there, Franklin Stevens and Danny Britt. But it's one of those things, Kevin, where you get in at halftime, you talk about effort, you talk about going out there, making sure you're staying on your blocks, wrapping up and tackling, and then to see it coming out of halftime. We always talk about adjustments. hey, what technical skills do they need to adjust on? It's not so much adjustment sometimes. It's just coaching them up and just getting back to the fundamentals. And I thought BC did a very good job of that. And once this team gets healthy and they get into region play, they could be very dangerous. What they do over the next 14 days is going to be a very big indicator for that. Well, I guess 20 days.
Yeah, you see Franklin Stevens and Danny Britt talking there, college teammates, really good friends. And I know, speaking of Coach Britt in the past, he's like, I enjoy playing Franklin Stevens. And you talk about going up against your friends. He said, look, when we're coaching, it's just two guys getting after it.
Right.
But after the game, we shake each other's hands. We have, good times, good talks, and we enjoy competing against each other. And the Cadets certainly did that tonight. And I think if you're Burke County, quite frankly, it's like, who wants to be the team that played BC after what happened last week? So, good teams don't stay down for very long. And after a tough first two ball games, I think BC responded in a big way tonight.
Yeah, it was clunky at the start, and give Burke credit. They came out and played hard there in the first half, but BC just too much talent, able to come out and really explode there in the second half. But I think, Kevin, one of the things that you look at is mistakes versus positives. And I think for the first time this season, the check marks kind of outweighed the X's on the coach's sheet in this one. So that's really big for the Cadets. And now you just got to keep it to where you can keep those X's to a minimum going forward. Some stuff that you can correct if you're a player, some after the play, after touchdown penalties that could have affected you against a really good team, especially against a really good offense when you're giving them a short field like that. And I think some stuff defensively where you're getting there but not wrapping up kind of got better in the second half. But those are the things that you got to work on going into these next couple of bye weeks here. Come out, get healthy, but work on just the aggression and the execution. And if BC can do that, they've got the skills to be very, very, very good.
Again, their next game will be Westminster up in the Atlanta area, but it won't be for a couple of weeks. So you got some time to get healthy. Again, you haven't had Mekhi Williams all season long. Josh Washington's been out a couple of weeks ever since the Colquitt County game, Christian. So two guys that, by all accounts, they expect to have back in essentially 20 days when you play another football game again. And I think at times offensively, you say, if you could add in another playmaker here or there, what a difference it would make. And those two guys out there waiting on the horizon.
Yeah, and again, getting Josh back would be huge. Getting Mekhi back would be huge. And both of those guys play offense and defense. So just getting closer and closer to that original starting 22 would be massive for the Cadets. But there's been some guys who, we talked about this during the Danny Britt show, who have been forced into playing time. So now potentially they could be guys who step up. I think Amari has done a good job playing that corner position. So could you potentially give some guys a break and let Mekhi flip over and play some offense when you need a play made, and let Bubba get some air and not have to be out there for every single snap? If you can get healthy, it allows AJ DePhillips and Galen House and your two coordinators to be really creative, but you got to get healthy first. So take advantage of the next couple weeks. And if you're a player, just because it's bye weeks, you can't take your foot off the pedal. You got to be out there thudding people up hard and playing full speed, because when you take your foot off the gas, that those small kind of soft tissue injuries happen where you're out there banging around and somebody's going a little bit harder than you. Coach has always said, if you hit harder, you're not the one who's going to get hurt. So go out there, thud them up, and just go full speed at practice. I'm not saying tackle people to the ground, but just approach it like a game week. And I think that helps keep you a little bit healthy, but also going into that Westminster game keeps you sharp and on edge.
We are in the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show. Danny Britt will join us. We'll name our Cool Vibes Pizza Player of the Game and more when we come back. This is Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
I'm Kenny Granger from Cash and Carry. We're a family-owned business right here in Savannah. We have sections of vehicles that really make it all simple. You'll get a printout of where the vehicle's at, the color of the vehicle. We really want them to be able to go in the yard and find out right where they need to be. The average savings would be at least 70, 80, could be even 90% compared to original manufactured parts. So you can come to a place like Cash and Carry and find the parts that you need at an extremely reasonable price. We'd love for you to come check us out.
Plan your hunting getaway and escape to experience the beauty of Mossy Pond. Our diverse property right here in Pierce County allows you to enjoy various types of hunts, including plantation-style quail, hog, pheasant, and flooded timber-style duck hunts, all within 24 hours. At the center of it all, experience scenic, rustic, beautiful, and inviting amenities like luxury lodging, our first-class pro shop, fine dining, and the perfect event space. Book now and see why Mossy Pond Lodge is Georgia's premier hunting paradise.
Welcome back here to the Attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show. You see Danny Britt talking to the team there after a 41-0 victory. Christian Gokel, a much-needed victory tonight for Benedictine as they started off 0-2 and played some tough teams, but you felt like tonight, hey, what kind of team are we? What can we be? Where's the push through with this bunch? And I know Danny Britt said, hey, this is BC football. This is what we do. But every year it's a reproving process. Is that the type of team these guys want to be? And tonight you came out against a Burke team, and again, they were wounded a little bit at quarterback and then ultimately down towards the end. But you really left no doubt that they weren't going to win this football game early on.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, really coming out and attacking defensively like you did is always going to help lead you towards these kind of games. 41-0's big. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. But I thought offensively really started to kind of show who you can be in the second half there. And I want to give credit to the guys up front because they took the coaching. AJ DePhillips was not happy. We're up here in the press box. We're in the booth next to him this time. Thankfully, there's a wall between us this time because I might have been like the proverbial punching bag without the proverbial in front of it. So AJ DePhillips, Kevin, you saw different guy in the second half because we're executing. You're battling. You're staying on your block. So credit to that offensive line. I thought they came out and did a really good job there in the second half, but all around really good performance. You got a couple of special teams mishaps. You miss PAT that gets tipped right there. That can come back to bite you in a close game. So some stuff you got to work on, but overall, Kevin, I think a much better performance than last week.
Certainly. And again, the Cadets get that first victory of the season, which means we are in the post-game show and time to name our Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game. Christian Gokel, our Cool Vibes Pizza player this week after a 41-0 victory will be.
I think Stephen Cannon is the guy this week. I know a lot of really good performances out there, but 2 touchdowns through the air, both of them to Bubba Frazier, and then able to bust a long one on the run. And I just think being a leader out there offensively, executing and just getting the offense where they need to be, much like the rest of the offense, played a lot better in the second half than in the first, stepping up into the pocket, being aware of where his pocket was. I think Stephen Cannon, your Cool Vibes Pizza player of the week.
Yeah, and really had a kind of resounding start after last week. It was hike, run. Just get me away from these guys. I think it took him kind of a minute to settle in, Christian, in that first half. Some happy feet, but once he did, 2 hookups with Bubba Frazier, and then a rushing touchdown where he ran 30, I think it was, if I remember correctly, 35 yards for the touchdown there to really put the game out of reach at that point. And you could see kind of at the end of that, he took a 15-yard personal foul penalty on that where I think that was frustration and kind of a lot coming out at one time. But again, had a solid bounce back game tonight for BC after it was, a tough night for him a week ago in the monsoon there at Memorial Stadium.
Absolutely, and he had a bounce back game. I think the offensive line had a bounce back game too. I know I keep saying it, but just kind of looking out on the field right now, Kevin, there's one unit left out there, and it's the offensive line, and they just got done talking with that offensive staff down there. AJ DePhillips made his way down there to talk to him, and I just think, and Coach Fogarty down there as well, the offensive line coach, that means a lot. It just those guys still out there and the talking to they gave them. I think they're saying, hey, you guys are the key. We can't do any of this without you 5 up front and 6 or 7 guys that are going to kind of rotate in. So means a lot. You got Steven Cannon standing out there. He has Bubba Frazier with him as well, talking to A.J. DePhillips, and then the offensive line surrounding them. That's pretty cool to see because I think this could potentially be one of those turning point moments for the season.
We'll come back. We believe we saw Danny Britt heading his way up here. Got to wait for that elevator ride to get up here, but we'll step aside here in the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show. Coach Danny Britt will join us when we come back here on Watch BC Sports.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC Sports.
Welcome to Sandnat Golf Carts, where luxury meets quality. We offer a wide selection of top-notch custom golf carts to suit your every need. With our extensive inventory, you're sure to find the ride of your dreams. Plus, our flexible financing options make it easier than ever to drive one off the lot today. Whether you're cruising the neighborhood or joyriding with the family, Sandnat Golf Carts is here to provide exceptional service every step of the way. Visit us today to elevate your ride.
Criminal defense, family law, child custody, DUI, and divorce. When so much is on the line, you need expert legal representation. The one to call is Savannah's own Jonathan V. Dunn, PC, attorney at law. Voted the Thomson Reuters super lawyer consecutively since 2023 and an Avo top attorney rating of 9.7. You can count on Jonathan V. Dunn to leave no stone unturned to deliver the justice you seek. Contact 912-200-9352 or online at jvdattorney.com.
Barnes Restaurant is celebrating 50 years of serving Savannah, offering these delicious, money-saving takeout specials.
20-piece hand-breaded chicken finger basket for only $19.75. 12 pieces fried or rotisserie chicken for only $19.75. And feed a large group quick with our 50-piece fried or rotisserie chicken for just $50.
Call ahead for faster service or order online at Barnes Restaurant.
As the world's largest lifestyle retailer of recreational boats and yachts, MarineMax is dedicated to connecting people with life-changing experiences on the water. More than just a boat retailer, MarineMax offers a complete range of services. 3518 Old Tybee Road, Thunderbolt, and online at MarineMax.com.
Welcome back here to the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show here with Coach Danny Britt. And Coach, before we get to the particulars, Dub feels good heading into an off week, certainly a double off week. Start first and foremost tonight. You put up more points than the other guys, and that's the object of the game.
That's right. And you're right. It does feel good. And, I'm sure there's going to be a million things once we watch the film that we need to work on. Obviously, we've got to start stronger, but yeah, I mean, it feels good, and we need a break. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I know they are too.
Coach, talk about the offense tonight. I know that's been a lot of talk about that. I know watching the first half, Coach DePhillips kind of frustrated with some execution things. I think even on the touchdown pass to Bubba there late in the half, it was, we scored, but we didn't line up. We didn't do what we were supposed to. Second half, it looked a little cleaner for you out there.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be in that offensive meeting at halftime with DePhillips. He went off, but as he should. It was just, we were lackadaisical. We were not moving fast. We were not, getting the motions we needed to. It was just, and that's what's frustrating. It's not always it's about the results. It's about performing the way you're supposed to perform, and we weren't doing it. Now, we came out and did much better, and I think physically blocked and ran much better in the second half. I think we finally found that energy and did some things differently. Coach
Steven, tonight, a couple of touchdown passes, a touchdown run, maybe a little happy feet left over from last week in the first half, but seemed to settle down and kind of find the balance between run and throw it there.
He did, and I told him at halftime, that he can run the ball too. He's not made of glass. And I said, why can't you take it 50 or 60? Stephen Cannon is a better athlete than anybody Burke County had on their team. Am I wrong? No. He's better. So why not just take it? And you saw that run when he accelerated. They couldn't touch him.
Coach, defensively tonight, you get the shutout. That's always good, but it seems like the guys up front, and, you guys run some wing tee principles. They run ring tee. It was probably nothing you weren't familiar with, and it seemed like you guys really flowed to the football tonight.
We did. I thought defensively the front played hard and fast and well, and obviously they were down their quarterback. And it would not have been a blowout like that if they'd had their quarterback, because they play action would have gotten us. It got us anyway. They just weren't able to capitalize on it. So if number 8 was out there, they would have gotten us a couple times with that, and we got to work on that.
Coach, special teams tonight, we thought maybe a few good things. Parker Lewis really kicked the football well tonight.
Yeah, John was out sick for most of the week, Brenton, and he just was not – there wasn't a pop coming off. So we went with Parker, and he had a really good pop there. I think the missed extra point, Steven put it on him. He couldn't get his hand out from under it. So Parker kicked turf. But anyway, I thought Parker did really good. The one quick punt worked out really well for us.
All right, Coach, you get 2 weeks off. How do you spend? Obviously, say, hey, it's been a long time. People don't appreciate that you guys really have been going since July to this point. What do you do now that you have 2 full weeks off and 20 days before you play another football game?
First of all, we take the time off and we relax and we watch college football tomorrow. and I know they're ready for it. Everybody's ready for it. And we needed a break because honestly, they've been going since February. Then you go, okay, football's been going since the end of May from spring ball, a week off here and a week off there. But getting ready, I told them this, getting ready for Camden, Colquitt, Buford, you have to be at a very high level to even be able to be on the field with those guys. So we pushed and we pushed and we pushed. We're exhausted. They're exhausted. We're ready to get away from it. So first we're going to take that break, and then we're going to come back and work on all the fundamental things we need to Wednesday, Thursday, get in the weight room, try to get back to, our strength, individual strength, and then the next week, that we have off, which is odd. We'll work an extra day that week. Of course, we work every day in class,
right.
And then, the week of Westminster will come back normal.
Coach, finally, before we move on, did want to point out a couple of things that I know you've said. Hey, when you lose, things get amplified. When you win, sometimes things get brushed aside. Tonight, a lot of 3rd and short penalties, extended to drive twice for Burke County, a couple of celebration penalties in the end zone. Just talk about that kind of uncharacteristic of your team, but something that's, I know you aren't telling them, hey, we can get penalties, but just some of those things that extend drives that maybe didn't hurt tonight, but might down the road.
Well, it's disappointing because, and some of it, the face mask, that's just playing hard. Some of it was a hard play. I'll watch the film. I'll determine that. The celebration penalties, the undisciplined penalties, we'll handle. I didn't run them as much. We sat down, we talked about it, and they made an effort to change last week. You could tell, and it wasn't running their mouth stuff, so right. it was different. They but we will run. We will be punished for those things this time. We've got to fix that now.
Coach, finally, Franklin Stevens, you and him, great buddies. What's it like coaching against him and competing against him?
Yeah, it's good. Actually, once we get on the sideline, I don't even think about that, like who's on the other side. But no, Frank and I have, played together a long time ago, known each other. And, we were talking about Georgia Southern. He's coming by our tent and all that stuff. So he does a great job. Frank does a really good job. He was down a little bit with his quarterback tonight. So I enjoy it. We've had some barn burners and from several different schools. So it's been great.
Coach, again, congratulations. Big win tonight. Enjoy the ride back, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Coach Danny Britt joining us here up in the booth for the postgame report here at Jonathan Dunn postgame show. We'll bring Christian Gokel back in here. And again, Christian, you'll be with Coach Britt there every Thursday, high noon at Bowtie Barbecue. And again, now, as he said, look, preparing for Colquitt, Burke, a scrimmage against Camden, and obviously Buford. That's you got to put forth a little extra effort,
right.
Especially for those first couple. We said, hey, we need a rest, we need a break. Now you get 2 weeks to kind of get healed up, and I would assume Josh Washington, Mekhi Williams be back and how different do you look in 2 weeks? Well, 3 weeks
right
at Westminster.
Yeah, 20 days. And that's the question is, can you then get on a bus, go up to Westminster and play a really good school that you're very familiar with and they're very familiar with you? That's the question. And I think that's going to kind of be the determining factor for the season, because after that, you just dive headfirst into a really, really tough region schedule. I believe Ware County to get it going there. So, I mean, that might be the battle for the region crown right there. So a lot of big stuff going to happen over the next 20 days or so. And I think it starts with the leaders up front, a couple of guys who got penalties tonight, but also played really well there. And Stanley Smart and Stephen Cannon, can they be the leaders and kind of put this team on their back and say, hey, we're going to kind of carry you guys where we need to go offensively? And the same thing I think could be said defensively is, no, it hasn't necessarily been the start Cam Cody and LaDamian Guyton want. Those guys make splash plays, but can they keep grinding and keep making the plays that they have to make and let the rest of it come to them and lead that defensive side of the ball? Again, a lot of that's going to be determined over the next 20 days.
Yeah, 41-0 makes 20 days off feel pretty good. So Christian will be at Bowtie Barbecue Thursday with Danny Britt. Like and subscribe to us here on Watch BC Sports. You'll get notified every Friday night when we go live. You'll also get those Danny Britt hits each and every week where Christian and Coach talk about the upcoming opponent as well. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. A lot of football still to be played around the state, college football, and more. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for joining us here on Watch BC Sports. This has been Cadet Football presented by Cash and Carry.